Dun 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 dun.
There's actually another one that I've been watching. It's similar to House of Cards called Zero Day.
I've been watching that.
Yeah,
Robert De Niro.
Robert De Niro.
Yeah, I finished that one.
And
I finished that one the other
Angela
night. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm on
That
episode
one's good
3.
as well. That one's good as well.
It's pretty dope, right?
But let's talk about what's on that streaming platform. When are our friends coming back?
So I've been speaking to Mkuka, and they're putting the moolah together. Because you know,
Yay.
you and I have got expensive taste.
Exactly.
So
Thank you very much.
Yeah, we do not accept chump change. So they have accepted to our terms.
And we're good to go.
They just need to make sure that they put the money together. So I'm pretty sure in the following the month that is coming up, that's April, we should be able to start.
It's no April Fool's joke.
Nope, it ain't.
It's happening.
Yes, it is.
Showmax is coming back.
And you know what's crazy? Again, you can people, you don't want people to see your virgin.
Yeah, it's like is a phantom of the podcast.
Yeah. You know what's so crazy is I've gotten to realize that people actually do watch and listen to the podcast. At times, I just used to feel like when we say something, it's you and I that is just talking up until Mukuka himself would text us like, oh yeah, I heard what you say.
So the thousands of viewers that we get per episode, you thought those were just like what, phantom viewers? You thought they were just bots watching this podcast?
To be honest, dude, I won't lie. It got to a point where I never paid attention to the views. I never paid attention to how many people would watch each episode. Because once we shoot an episode and it airs, it's done. It's in the past. You're already thinking about the next one. You and I do that all the time.
Yeah, true.
Right. So once Tuesday,
When we just post,
Right.
on to the next, like Jay-Z.
on to the next.
Yeah.
And we know that God is sending us his bill.
Exactly. Gob, how high is the bill right now? Not too loud, not too loud.
I don't know why you want to depress us like this. And have you ever noticed that is the only text that God gets blue ticked for?
When the invoice comes through.
Ain't nobody responds to him.
Fam, another lovely Tuesday,
I
and
think
we're
you're the
here.
only one that acknowledges him. You just say cheers.
Cheers.
I don't say nothing.
Yeah, well, I called him on the side and asked him what's really going on. So anyway, we don't have a guest today. We have a friend visiting the podcast. And for many radio lovers in Lusaka, this is no stranger to the microphone. His name is Chi, a.k.a. It's actually Chinyota Msimoko, a.k.a. Chi. And this man really held it down on radio. When he was on radio, he had the hottest breakfast show on Hot FM for how many years?
A decade, actually.
A full 10 years.
Yeah, full 10 years.
I remember I was doing breakfast.
You have a voice for radio.
Thank you.
And a face for radio,
I was
too.
about to say. I was about to say.
And
But
a face
we'll
for
put
radio,
you
too.
on to do the sign language on the next show.
Right. Yeah, I hear that.
On radio.
I hear that.
Oh man, today's show is gonna be so hot, and it's gonna slap harder than Chile one slapping Tatiana's boobs. Have you seen that?
Pervert. No. Have you ever
God,
noticed?
did you see that?
Have you ever noticed that Kalenga claims to be off social media and he catches himself in the lie
No,
all
but
the time?
in all fairness, I also stumbled upon that, and I'm like not on social media, and that was the one thing. I could have been fed anything else by the algorithm. Could have been fed some
Not bad.
sensitive information, something to better my mind, but no, it was just two
Are they married now?
titties.
Are they married?
It was two titties and
Are they
and
married?
one man.
Are they married? What's going on with them too?
I don't go. Crap, God, please find a microphone in my box. We need to hook you up.
Are they married, Gob? Do you know?
Just cohabiting, right?
Yeah, it's called a Boko Haram. Bring back our girls. He's doing a Boko Haram.
Speaking of social media, do you normally get these ads that are unsolicited? That as you scroll through your Facebook, the same ad. There's one ad that I literally had to mute. If I could pay to not see that ad, I would.
Wait,
Let me
which one is
describe
this?
it. Let me describe it. No, not that one.
Are you alone?
No, not that one. Not that one. It's an ad. It starts with a camel licking the camera, and then it pans to a dude like licking the camera and then like pans backwards. Have you seen that?
It's an advert.
It's an advert for
In
Mike,
drive, is it? It's in drive, right? That one. Every time I'm on Facebook, I see that ad 2-3 times.
But I think it says more about you
That one.
than the advert just popping up. It means you usually watch such content.
No, that one. And there's this girl who's coming from the
Can
gym.
we dwell on the content that you view?
No, I'll tell you in a
No, let's
second.
just skim over that story, please.
No, hold on. Let me finish that, and then we'll come to your point. Gob, there's this girl that is coming from the gym and says, "Of course, I am whatever. I use InDrive." Have you seen that?
But this is happening on Facebook.
Yeah,
That's only on Facebook? Where you get
I've only seen that on Facebook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm not really on Facebook though. Like
So
that.
where did you see the Tatiana titty slap?
Where did I see the Tatiana titty slap? It was a dark and stormy night, and I'm trying
Dark
to
and
recall.
stormy night. Did you have lotion and tissue?
I think I was on Instagram.
Did you have lotion and tissue too on that night?
As I said, I think I was on Instagram. Dark and stormy, not dark and lowly, fam. Come on now. Let's get it right. Yeah, but I mean, you were making the point to say that it is, how is your life now? See what your life has gotten to. That is what the algorithm is. It gives you the stuff you're into, apparently. And I've been watching a lot about algorithms and the founder of TikTok, the actual founder person.
What's the story there?
Well, it's very interesting because you expect him, he's worth like 7 point something billion
Only?
US. Yeah. No, I think it's 16. 7 he made.
Well, amongst the
7 he
billionaires, yes,
made.
it's only. But,
Yeah, only. He is.
But in relation to us,
Yeah, he's like the 69th, 67th richest person in the world or something like that. So he is just not eccentric. So that's what's also fascinating about him. Like, he stayed straight nerd. Like, you know how Zuckerberg's PR team is trying to make him look hardcore now?
Yeah.
Oh,
Since the MMA tweet
The
beef.
chains.
The chains.
Change of hairstyle.
Change of hairstyle.
Is that a perm?
He was
What
like
the
water
fuck is
skiing
that?
with a beer the other month, you know, so they kept him like, he doesn't want none of that smoke. He's out of the limelight. Still.
Is he Asian?
Yeah, he's Asian. He's
Chinese
Asian.
specifically.
Well, I mean, is it a working app making billions? Then you know there's a Chinese brother behind that. So yeah, no, he's straight.
Just like Dipsic.
Exactly.
Chinese again.
Exactly.
Those motherfuckers.
Exactly.
those guys are really pushing things. But you know, one thing you can't really take away from the Americans is how they're very good storytellers and they're good at branding.
Right.
Whatever's
No,
on the
that is
market,
true.
they will make it seem like they're the only ones doing
Right.
it, or they're the best at it, even
Right.
when they're not.
Absolutely. No, I agree
Look
with that.
at if you compare right now,
Yeah.
Huawei and the iPhone.
Yeah.
Huawei is probably 5 years ahead of the iPhone.
Oh,
Look at the
absolutely.
functions.
Absolutely.
Have you
Yeah.
seen the grab feature?
Right.
What is
right.
that?
Oh,
A
dude.
bit gimmicky
God,
though.
you've seen the grab, eh?
It's but it's
好，你抓，然后我放。哎，也可以，在这边抓取一下，然后在这里再放，很简单的一个动作。
it's a
You
bit
know how-
gimmicky though. Yeah, but anyway,
Exactly.
go ahead, explain it. Yeah.
Explain it. You're a
Okay,
better
so
storyteller.
basically you can just transfer using gestures. So the gesture you're actually going to use is a grab. So you can transfer pictures, whatever file. You just sort of do the grab motion and then
throw it to the other phone.
Throw it to the next phone. So it's like, yeah, it's all in the wrist. It's like a footsec motion.
Yeah, like footsec.
Footsec.
Pat, you
And then
receive.
bam.
Like
You know?
airdrop, but hand gestures.
Yeah, but like
Yelling,
footsec.
Kalenga. But have you noticed that the BMW does that though?
Yes.
Oh, the
yes,
wave
yeah.
and-
The wave, yeah.
Yeah,
So it's almost
yeah.
the same thing.
Well,
Yeah.
pretty much. But
Yeah.
the grab is something else, bro. Like you can just actually you can pass it on to
Yes.
like 3-4 people.
Yes.
I'll
Wait,
grab from the.
Oh, that's dope.
I
So
can
you
grab from the
this
screen and,
then
I
throw
can put it in your hand, and you can give it to
You
him.
are
And he puts it
lying.
on.
You are lying.
True story.
It's-
You are
it-
lying.
True story.
Wait, you can grab something from your screen?
Yes.
Put
Pass
into
it on to your
somebody's-
hand.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, 3-4 people can pass it on to the next phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's also called the Lusaka dating function. You like grab, pass it on to the next nigga. You know, it's his turn. You pass it on, and then eventually it ends up on someone's phone as a picture.
I'm so happy that this
just
week
like
I'm not,
dating
I'm, not
yourself.
the, I'm not the person that's going to be getting backlash. This week I'm not the person that's going to be getting backlash.
It ends up as a picture on someone's phone. It's, you grab it, you know,
Oh, Chikondi.
grab it, release it.
Chikondi.
Speaking
Yo.
of backlash, so I asked our patrons to give us talking points, and one said, "Can we start with what's the guy's name? Wycliffe
Wycliffe.
episode.
Yeah, you were such an ass in that episode.
Was I though?
But anyway, as you look for those.
No. I don't need to speak about that.
Okay.
I didn't understand half the things that he said. That's number one. Number two.
Yeah, he was speaking a lot of Bemba. Yeah,
right.
true.
And number two, when this is what probably people didn't see, or probably you didn't as well. When we left and I was reversing out of the gate, he said, "I loved what the dynamic that you and I had." Because then it will get people talking. So that was more of an act more than anything else.
Yeah, but was it in the moment for you?
I couldn't understand what you were saying.
No, but you were being an ass. Was that an act as well?
How was I being an ass? I was just being myself.
Dude, God, you saw the comments from the people after
No,
the...
according to you. Like which part precisely?
Yeah, I mean...
What English part?
Clearly, the guy speaks more Bemba than English, so there are parts where he would make, grammatical errors and you would bring those up instantly.
But then I did the same thing when the lady was saying thefty, that the woman that left prison instead of
So
theft.
you wouldn't call that being an ass because it was a
No,
woman?
I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't. But and they don't castigate Simon for it. And again, that was just funny to me. That was just funny to me.
Wait. Just to go back there. So you were saying there was someone, they were trying to say what when they were saying 50?
Theft.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
we
so-
do that a lot as Zambians, actually.
Do what?
Correcting each other.
No. In terms of like, like if you're gonna say theft and you say 50,
Sikisti.
yeah.
Yeah, but even Zimbabweans say Sikisti.
No, but like there's and I'm trying to think of an example right now. Like if you say, it was lofty, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was lofty or something like that. But the funny thing is, they never get it wrong when it comes to talking about sex. No one is ever like, oh, I was having sexy. There they get it right. So yeah, I mean,
Another thing that people put a Y where it is not supposed to is when they want to say, we had fun.
yes,
funny.
thank you. We had funny during sexy.
So I'm sitting there and what should I sit there and with a mouthful of tea?
Yeah,
and
no, I get you on that one though. I think I would have also been like,
right. I don't know. I'm a grammar Nazi at times. There's stuff
same
that you
here.
can let slide.
And there's one
Slidey.
on the news, and I keep hearing it on the news still. You would say, okay, let me spell it out. Let me hear how you pronounce it before. Okay, there we go. Insert. Okay, yeah, I spelled it correctly. That one there.
Uncertainty.
Both of you.
Yeah, uncertainty.
Uncertainty.
Yeah.
You watch the news, bro. How many times have you heard uncertainty?
Wow. Yeah, there
Which
is
news?
that.
Almost every radio station in Zambia.
In where?
Almost every radio station in Zambia. I hear that uncertainty.
In Zambia.
Uncertainty.
Yeah, but then if you're getting your grammar from
From who? Wycliffe.
no.
Say it.
Face the Oxford Dictionary. That's a franchise waiting to happen right there.
You know what I mean?
Grammar by Wycliffe.
Speaking of tech still, while we're on the topic of tech,
Yeah.
tech. AI.
Yes.
How it's getting better and better every day.
Right.
And now I think it's opened doors for men to also make money off OnlyFans with how you can be a chick now. You've seen that, right?
You say what?
How you can be a chick on OnlyFans with using AI.
What are you talking about?
Like you can have your phone, like the way Snapchat will add filters whenever, but you can have a completely hot chick in place of
So
you.
you have like
Yeah.
a female body.
Female body, hot chick,
Yeah.
hot chick.
And it's an old ass dude.
So now this begs the question. People who've been watching stuff on OnlyFans could have actually been watching men all along. Many men mixed with the women, you know what I mean? Because you could actually sit there with your camera, it's recording, or you're live on OnlyFans, but it changes your face and you're a hot chick.
Do you know what this reminds me
And
of?
you can give you boobs, you can strip, and it's clean.
You
Yeah.
sound,
tits, you know what I mean?
You sound too excited for this topic. You know what this reminds me of? Do you watch Black Mirror?
Yeah, exactly,
yeah,
that's what they called it.
yeah.
We're now living in the Black Mirror age.
Yeah.
That was the
There's,
headline on the
there's an
story.
episode on Black Mirror. I don't know if you watched it,
I watched all the episodes, yeah.
where these two dudes were playing a video game.
Okay.
Oh, the gay guy. And they're having sex in the
In the game.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I didn't see that
So
one.
let me explain.
They'll be fighting and then they start having sex.
So there's
Oh, yeah.
two dudes, right?
Yeah.
Just like the metaverse.
Okay.
Where in the metaverse, you can choose any character that you want.
Yeah.
So though there's two dudes, the one dude in the game was using a female character.
Okay.
And in the game, though they started fighting, they ended up smashing in the game.
Wow.
Which, when they then met in person, confused the heck out of each other sexually.
Right.
Like, so we smash every day
In
in
the
the
game.
Yeah.
So,
But the person behind that avatar is like
It's
a
a
dude.
girl.
it's
It's a
a
guy.
dude, and then they met in person, and now they're now confused. Did they end up smashing in person?
Yeah, they did. But I think one of them felt guilty afterwards, and they split. The other guy
Right.
went back to his girlfriend and stuff. Yeah, but it still happened.
So
yeah.
that kind of, so what you're describing kind of reminds me of that Black Mirror episode.
Yeah, actually, the headline, I think it was on the LA Times, where they said, we're now living in the Black Mirror age. Because
another-
anybody can now be on OnlyFans as whoever they want.
Dude, do you remember? There's another episode of Black Mirror when you earned social points. If you're nice, a person can tip you social points.
Oh, the workouts. Is it the
No,
one?
no.
Not, that was episode 1. I remember.
That was
the wor-
episode 2.
Yeah.
With, what's this Ugandan guy, the black guy from...
I'm horrible with names. I'm horrible with like Hollywood.
the guy from Black Panther.
I have no idea what his name is. I know who you're talking about, but I don't know who it is.
The guy's... Huh?
No, man.
He was in Get Out, big eyes crying, that guy,
Yeah, I
famous
know the guy. I know
emoji
the
guy.
Yeah, I know the dude.
Okay.
Yeah, he was in
Just the
Queen
name
and
is-
Slim as well. If you
Yeah,
watch Queen and Slim.
yeah.
I forget his name.
So you get points for being nice.
Right. So, as you interact,
Right.
if you hold the door for me as I'm getting into a building,
Yeah.
with my phone, I can tap your phone and then say give you 2 points.
Wow.
So, if you go to a restaurant and you want to get a good table, the restaurant looks at how many points you have. So, if you have got an average of maybe 8 and above points,
Yeah.
you are a VIP, right?
Wow.
Between 6 and 8, you are there. Anywhere below 5, for example, not even a cab will pick you up.
So where do you think your rating would be? How many points would you have after
Me?
the Wyclef episode? how many
but
points
then-
would you have had, fam?
But
Like,
then I feel like, strangely, the people that get my humor would tip me quite a bit.
yeah.
Yeah. So you cannot be honest, because if you're honest, like if your breath smells and I tell you that your breath smells,
Then it's like
points.
you will
minus.
take, there you go. You will take
Yeah.
points away from the person.
Wow. That's crazy though. That's crazy.
So again, I feel like in China, they're already doing something like that where you get social points for behaving a certain way.
Serious?
Yeah. So even when you want to go and get your driver's license, for example, despite you being the best driver ever, they look at the social points first.
So if you've been in a fight, you've cursed, road rage.
yeah.
They take some.
Wow.
So,
That's gonna get a lot
you
of
could be
people
a good
acting
driver,
right.
but if you've got road rage, they won't give you a license.
It's gonna get a lot of people acting right.
Yeah. Man,
You
Black
expect
Mirror,
that
I
to
feel
be-
like it's been way ahead of its game.
Wow.
Yeah.
So are like exes allowed to rate you as well?
Good point.
I'm just saying.
I like how you think.
I'm just saying.
Imagine if the ex was allowed to rate you
Imagine
as
if
well.
you're...
Better be putting your back in it though.
Man.
Pay that rent on time. She'll be like, he's always 2 days late. And your whole credit is down, man. And you're like, no, I run 5 companies. Yeah, but you ain't paying her bills on time. She came out nappy the other day. CEO. What is that? You know? Yeah, that's crazy though. But it's all in the vein and the effort of getting society in check. And
Right.
that actually brings about a very interesting point because, you know, we talk about how much harm technology is doing and this digital age is doing. We talk about how much harm. There's actually a charity project that I'm doing with Habitat for Humanity, and it's digitally based. All right. Okay. So I've had this thing in the vault for quite a while, and it's just recently that Habitat for Humanity have picked it up.
Right.
And it's just a very simple concept. It's also based on points,
Right.
but not as creepy as that. It just makes use of amateur athletes and the work they do around certain projects, starting with Habitat for Humanity,
Right.
because they really haven't had the volunteer push since COVID until now. So this thing is just basically formulated to have like amateur teams, starting with the Basketball Association, because that's the world I'm closest to. And you get points at the end of the season, give you a prize. I'm trying to work it up to like a trip to the NBA or something for the winning team. So you do put in like charity hours, and it's just a
And your
website.
points based off that.
Yeah, and your points are based off that. So there is some good outcomes that you can use tech for as well. And then there's just like other creepy stuff, like, you know.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Do you still, I remember you used to post quite a number of photos of you at the NBA. Do you still travel for those?
Yes, I do, but I haven't in a while.
Right.
Yeah.
Did you play basketball?
I did. And don't look at me like that, man. He's like, look at this guy with bad knees, bad back. And he's like, what? You barely walked in the room. Like, no, once upon a time as a Yuffie. Yeah. That's my first love.
You know who this nigga went to school with?
Moses?
You see? That's why it's like, he shot hoops.
You were close.
Red Sea.
You were very close.
Red Sea Nets.
Abraham. I joke. AKA.
Who's AKA?
The late
The
AKA.
dead AKA?
Yeah.
This was in school with him?
Yeah. We're together in St. John's.
Who's St. John's?
Johannesburg.
Say a word.
The real St. John's. I know you think about the Zim one, so I call it the real
No.
St. John's.
The one in Zim.
No, the real
man.
St. John's.
My
The
man.
OG St. John's.
Don't play. Don't play.
The OG St.
Nah,
John's.
don't
Okay.
play.
College.
Oh, serious?
Yeah. So he was
school,
a
just
junior.
class, or
No, he was a junior. He was
okay.
very much my junior. You know, I was
very much like how much? Very much
like Moses very much. No, he was like maybe like 4 years my junior.
right.
Yeah. Even then he was into hip hop. He had a group called Touch and Go. So it was actually 3 St. John's boys.
And that would not see today. You come up with a group called Touch and Go
Oh, you're going soon.
with me too.
You're going soon.
What do you mean you're going to say?
Touch and go.
It's like
You'll be sued. That's sexual harassment, sir.
Touch and Go.
Sounds like a hit and run, eh?
That's my point.
That's like the rap group Chile one also
Touch and Go.
should join. Touch and Go.
Listen, Chile doesn't already like us. He already doesn't like us because we've been questioning his numbers. And now here you come just compounding onto that.
No, I'm just saying, man. You gotta have trend like that, and then there's a group called Touch and Go.
Somebody put a montage together of Yomabs buying his wife a car, of Shadrach buying his wife a car, of
Sparks mining, yeah.
And the last one was Chile slapped.
Oh man. I have no enemies until now. Oh man. The views expressed in this podcast are not the views of Chi. Y'all gotta give me at least 10 minutes to work a disclaimer in this bad boy,
right?
though.
If you all thought that we had a chance of getting Chile on this podcast before this, y'all forget now.
No, but it wasn't us. We didn't make the post.
Oh man, let me tell you actually who made the post, because I'm not gonna take the flake for this. Her name is hold on. I'll
No,
send
but
you
by the
screenshots.
way, I thought that was hilarious. I did think that was hilarious. I thought that was actually couple goals.
What the-
Yeah, I mean they're both like doing
titty play.
stuff for social media and attention, and I think when you can
but
play
you
like
can
that,
tell
with,
that you can tell that
play
she didn't
around.
expect it.
Yeah, that was the thing. It was like a genuine response,
Yeah, but it's a good thing.
and apparently he's not really like about that like outlandish
About what?
antics on like social media. So one of the comments I read was like, "Aha, he's getting back at her because apparently she's like more prankish or whatever." I don't know. I don't follow these two.
But was it like live? God, was it a live or it was just a post?
I saw it as a post.
I saw it as a post as well.
What's the girl's name who made that? Her name is Veldrin.
Who posted? Was it her or him?
I think it was.
Oh, okay. So
Let me
the
check.
person that posted this, her name is Veldrin Capesha.
Veldrin.
Sounds like a Voltron.
Sounds
thing,
like a
right?
villain. I was about to say.
See, this is it. So it opens up with Sparks and then Shadrach,
Yo man.
and then Alexandra Sakala,
Sakala, yeah.
the wife, Kandeke, Kidist.
Cleans the specs. There's been an image of specs being clean.
Wait, hold on, Gob. I'm sending this to you.
That's why you have camels licking your screen, fam.
It was Chilan who posted it actually.
You
Yo,
see
chill
what?
on himself.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Or was it Chile that posted that thing?
I think it's a good thing. I think it shows that he's actually got a healthy relationship with her.
Yeah, that's what I was
I
about
think
to
so,
say.
yeah.
I was,
They've got a healthy
that's what I was
relationship.
saying. It's couple
Couple
goals,
goals,
man.
yeah.
I was like, yeah, if you could fool around with you,
They're happy, they have
that's my
fun.
type of humor anyway. So if you can
Me
fool
too.
around on that level, like I get
Right.
it. I
And
get
if they
it.
get married,
it's cute. It's
And
yeah,
if
it's-
they do get married, I'll be very happy for them because he's marrying somebody he's already having fun with. They're
Bingo.
friends. You know what I mean?
Bingo.
It
Yeah.
works.
Yeah.
I'm happy for him.
Yeah.
It really shouldn't be marriage, though I've never been married. I don't look at it as something that should be really serious.
If they do get married, is what I'm saying. If they do get
yeah,
married.
just make sure it's a friend, and I think there's. I
Have
mean,
you
if
been
you
married?
can pull that off, I have not been married on
Are you
paper.
married? On paper? What the hell does
I've
that
not
mean?
been married on paper. That's
Loboda?
such a Lusaka man answer.
I'm married, but it's not serious.
Yeah, I'm married, but it's not serious. We just share a surname
And children.
and have populated slightly.
Wait, so what does that mean?
Boko Haram. I
just stayed with you.
do have.
Is she staying with you right now?
No. Unfortunately, we didn't work out, but we were raising two awesome kids, and right
Very
now
sharp
we get
kids?
along like a house on fire.
Your kids?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, actually, we're raising 3 kids in total.
Who came with
I found her with a kid first.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, we're cool now.
Shadiah would look at you sideways.
What?
Let me read to you
Parish or die? What's that? What's that thing?
Learner Parish.
Loner Parish, yeah.
Let me read to you what let me open my books. Wait, hold on. What's going on my Twitter?
Hey, there's a camel. No, I'm kidding.
And go no, this is Twitter and open our books to the
You're tapping into your British side, innit?
yeah. I've been speaking like this all day actually.
Yeah, I can tell.
You should. That way, when you say things like lofty, it sounds official, innit?
You know what I mean?
Oh,
So he said
You know, seriously. But no matter what accent you pull off, you can still tell like a Zambian.
Okay, here we go.
No,
When
you
he
can
goes,
tell it's
me, I.
please read that. That right there.
I mean, rightly so. It's wild to.
No. The top.
Where's the top?
Wait, hold on.
Which top?
That one.
Young man. Oh, so Shadiah Knight, the soul of the earth. Young man, your soulmate doesn't have a child by another man. Keep searching.
Oh, well.
Well,
you
she's
go.
not his soulmate. They're not together.
Because you're not together anymore.
And also the concept of soulmates.
You don't believe in that?
How so?
Okay, well, by its very definition, how would you define a soulmate? Because according to my definition
Let's
of
check
a
what
soulmate,
AI says.
it's this one individual who has
Who connects
been
with your soul.
predestined and
Yeah.
connects with your soul. And apparently there's only one such person for you in the entire universe.
So you don't believe in monogamy?
Not that I don't believe in monogamy.
Do you?
It works for people.
Do you?
Do I? Yeah. Currently.
believe in monogamy?
Yeah, currently.
Currently.
And
So
that's
are
the
there
point
times-
I'm about to
so
make.
are there times you don't believe in it?
And that's the point I'm about to make.
Go ahead.
There are times I don't believe in it.
Yeah.
There are absolutely times I don't believe
So
in it.
AI
And that's
says-
why I'm saying, like, it probably depends what season the person is in. Okay?
What's the answer? In which area?
Just Google AI. A soulmate in general, in a general sense, is someone with whom you share a deep, unique, and often profound connection based on mutual understanding and acceptance, whether romantic or not.
So should that be just one person? Because by modern definition and how we go about throwing the meanings of certain things, gaslighting, narcissistic, soulmate has also been,
We are all narcissistic.
yeah, we are actually.
All of us.
If you've ever argued with a Gen Z person, female in particular, you're narcissistic. Not that they know the meaning of that word, but the true definition of that word. But anyway, same thing with soulmate, because we've rounded it down to one person. Are you trying to tell me at some point in life you have not experienced this with somebody, and then at another point you've experienced that with somebody? You know what I'm saying? And that's why I said it depends at which season you're in and what you're looking for. Because my soulmate, when I was like 5, was the kid in the neighborhood with the hoop in the back of the yard, and we got along like a house on fire. You know what I'm saying? It's different according to the seasons you're in. You might need someone for that season, and it's okay. It's not about using anyone or whatever. It's literally about growth. So that's why I had to say sometimes I don't believe in monogamy, right? But when you get to the relationship part of things, okay, you sometimes find a soulmate. Sometimes you don't. Sometimes you're still searching. You know what I'm
Do you
saying?
believe that? Do you believe monogamy limits love?
I think in order for you to enter monogamy, you have to already have crossed over into the love threshold. That's just for me, or at least attempting.
what?
You had to have already crossed over. So I'll answer your question in reverse, right? So monogamy limiting love would be like you get into this, you're not necessarily in love, and that's stopping your pursuit for looking further, right? But I think if you're going to get into it, all right, there must be like a solid foundation in the first place for you to commit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but is that necessarily love, though?
And then if you're trying to grow it, well, it doesn't have to be love at that
That's
stage.
my point.
Yeah,
Is because monogamy is a rule.
Yeah.
And love is a feeling.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And the rule is you cannot be with more than one person at a time.
Well, that's where you have to now define where you guys are at. I mean, are you in an open relationship? Are you guys just
no,
dating?
but that's not monogamy then, right?
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But and that's what I'm saying. To get to the point of monogamy, like you are just it. I think you really have to be into the person, man. Like to really
You have
commit
to
like that.
a lot about the person.
Yeah, I mean, commitment is commitment, and like I'm at a stage where and it hasn't always been like that. It's called maturity, But when it comes to relationships, my yeses are my yeses and my no's are my no's. And a lot of the time, I was doing the opposite just so you don't want to hurt the person's feelings. And that's why I can speak openly about this now and be like, yo, if it's a situation where I feel like we should still be looking around, or I would still be looking around, I think it's only fair you tell the person, and not everybody has got the guts to do it as well.
Absolutely,
you know?
Is it a modern thing, a right thing to, let's say marriage, ask for an open relationship?
Yeah.
Is it a good thing considering where we are today, this day and
Yeah.
age, this century?
I think to each
Would
their
it make
own.
would it make marriage work? Or to each their own?
I think to each their own. I know
cool,
like
fair
the
enough.
statistic is like more and more Gen Zs, or less and less Gen Zs are getting married these days. They're getting into situations, monogamous situations, where they're cohabiting. I mean, we're just from talking about it. That's what's trending a lot, as I've called it Boko Haram, you know what I'm saying? But
Bring back our girls.
yeah, but they go ahead and they very publicly express that this is the person I'm about. This is the only person I'm focusing on. But the marriage side of things, which brings me to a very interesting verdict from our courts that came out this week
What about,
Which one is this
about divorce.
or what did they say?
Okay, so there's a situation not too far from us. This was a Salama Park officially married couple, monogamous, we assume.
Slay
In
queens.
each their
inverted
own.
commas, yeah.
Slay
The moment I
queens.
said Salama, he's like, slay queens.
Isn't that what Salama is known for?
Well,
Well, you should know because you live right next to Salama.
yeah, I do.
You wake up like 4 a.m., you work your butt off, you're in multiple companies, and she lives right next to you.
Doing nothing.
But she's in Dubai more than you.
Exactly.
CEO.
So what did the court say?
Yeah, so the courts basically, the whole 50-50, especially if you don't have a prenup. Okay, the separation of estates. When you dissolve a marriage. Yeah, when you dissolve a marriage, traditionally what has been happening, and according to precedents, is 50-50 split between the couple. This situation was, he was described as a driver. Okay. He had several vehicles. So I think driver was maybe downplaying what his hustle was. But anyway, I'll say it as I read it. So this was a driver. He had a couple of cars and he built, 2 houses. Okay. He built multiple houses. And they were built on his father's property, his late father's property, which he had inherited, which also, if you know law and beneficiaries and estates, it also complicates things. But anyway, so they basically, as a couple, accumulated this. They're now divorced, and the Zambian courts, recently just said, "I'm sorry, but how much did you contribute to this marriage?"
Asking the girl?
Yeah. So for the first time, it wasn't a 50-50 situation. The courts literally said, "What did you walk in with?" Work with me now, fellas. What did you bring to
The
The table.
Intro.
And then she will say,
I am the table.
Yeah. So they
that's-
were like,
that's-
leave with the table. So yeah, so you can imagine the precedents it sets.
That's exactly my point.
Huge story.
because lawyers will be quoting this judgment.
Yeah, that's
Forever.
what it is. I
Forever.
mean, the precedents moving forward right now, that 50-50 now, it has to be really questioned. It's like, okay, what did you
Where were you
bring?
when I was shooting in the gym?
Yeah, but I mean, maybe it's not necessarily what did you bring, but what did you contribute while in the institution of
Bitch,
marriage?
can you use Excel even?
You know
What
what I'm
can
saying?
you do?
Like, did you guys build this empire together? And then I guess what even cemented it was the fact that he built this on his family property, inherited from his dad's sweat.
Yeah.
And she was like, well, I want some of that now because I got your surname at some point. And they're like, it doesn't work like that.
Time for women to be freaks in the Excel sheets.
I'm telling you. There you go.
So, Kalinka,
Sorry?
now's your time.
Oh,
That was my
someone's
time
gonna call me narcissistic. They're gonna call us narcissistic for that, by the way. It's the courts,
Oh,
guys.
crap. Speaking of the same area, Chainda's like in the same area.
Yeah.
Did you guys see? Let me just bring that up. God, did you see that the Chainda guy who dated a chick for 5 years and only finds out that she's got 4 kids and she's actually married?
Oh, it's
What
like
did you just say on the news?
Lusaka is for business.
Oh,
guys.
Lusaka's for business.
Wait,
Let me bring
he
it up.
dated a girl for 5 years?
Hold on. I've got the story somewhere. Did you see that? Yeah. It
Use
was on the news.
Use
The
the
story is
microphone. Go.
complicated. If we say it, we might miss some few keys. You have to read it.
Okay, go ahead.
A Chainda man collapsed 3 times after discovering.
Stop right there.
Every time a kid popped out, it's like, and here's the other one. Oh, first, second, oh. Wake up, I'm awake. Okay, Vashi, oh. 3 times, fam.
Listen to this.
Why did you have one long ass snap?
One for each kid, bruh.
I'm sure after 3 times.
But the
like,
4th time,
wait,
they were
hold
just
on.
like, I'm sure he's sleeping now. It's bedtime.
I'm sure
We
after-
won't count that
I'm sure after
one.
the 3rd time, they were like, no, let's not wake you.
Yeah, dude.
Now listen.
That's like Mufasa. Ooh.
Do it again.
Vashi. Ooh.
Oh, man.
So a Chainda man collapsed 3 times after discovering that the woman he had been dating for 5 years is actually married with 4 kids and is actually 8 years older than him. She told him she was 26. He thought all along that he was older than her. Wow. And he finds out she's actually 8 years older than him.
So what was her end game, though? I always wonder,
Wait,
like,
this
what-
chick must have been fit.
what's the end
4
game,
kids.
though?
Okay, guys, let's break this down. They dated for 5 years.
Yes.
This must mean one of 2 things. The husband doesn't live with a chick or he's never been to her house.
Yeah, probably the venue was always his house.
Possibly.
Yeah,
So
possibly.
either the guy lived out of town and she would always be alone there, or he had never been to her house. That's number 1. For 5 years.
Wait, so she was married? It's not
Yeah,
just about
married
the
with 4
kids.
kids. Still married with 4 kids.
That's number 1. Number 2,
Yeah.
this chick was 8 years older.
8
Doesn't
years
say
older.
how old he is.
Let's do the math here. So he thought, according to this report, like today, this happened like a few days ago, he thought she was 26.
Wow.
Wait, how can we do the math here? He thought she was
Is it-
26.
did they publish her name?
But then she's actually 8 years older than
Than
that.
him.
So she is
Yeah.
30.
No. 8 years older than him.
Yeah.
It doesn't quite state how old he is.
Right.
Wait, hold
Yeah.
on.
So she lied about her
we
age.
can work
Yeah?
that out.
We can work it out.
He
yeah.
thought she was 26.
Yes.
No, hold on.
No, you can't really work
And
it out.
it
You
turned-
need another number.
And it turns out that she was 8 years older
Yeah.
than whatever age that she
wow.
was. Well, so
She's probably even 40.
Maybe it's Maybelline. No, but seriously, look, if so 8 years, so she lied about her age.
Lied about her age. Lied about her status. Lied about her.
how many kids she had?
Yeah.
So she lied about her age and she's a player.
As far as he's been concerned for the past 5 years,
She
a
qualifies.
single woman.
She qualifies for African football or footballer of the year. You lie about your age and you're a player. We will give her the Ballon d'Or, guys. We will give her the. That is she polo material. Barbara, step your game up,
Guys,
please.
Wait. So this guy was supposedly 8 years younger.
Come,
So-
see
so-
if you can find the full story. Chain the man. Huh? Just there.
Yeah.
Just 3 sentences, that's it.
Where was this reported? Do you know what publication this was?
Wow, that is quite something. I don't mind the 8 years older gap, actually. I don't mind the 8 years older gap, but the rest of
So
it is
she must
just
have
trifling.
had either number 1, this guy is immature and he hasn't been around, or she must have had a really fit body.
That's what I was saying. She must look really good.
Either
to have,
that or the guy has got a really low body count. And he's got nothing to compare it to.
probably one of those very naive kids just new in the game.
How have
Precisely
you
what I'm
guys
saying.
boiled this down to research, guys? Like,
an exact
you guys are
science.
like, yo, you need to fuck around more. That's the lesson. No, that is not the lesson.
Yes, it is.
It's like that's what you get for not fucking around. Yeah, should have fucked around and found out. No, guys,
Spin around the block. Spin around the
You know
block.
what I'm saying? It's like I'm out here doing research, girl.
Let me tell you,
No.
when you've been around the block and a chick tells you a lie that you've heard before, you'll be like, bitch, who you think you're talking
Like
to?
I own a nail bar and I'm in Dubai more than you.
Nigga. Who you think you're talking to? I live in Salama.
I live in
and
Salama.
nigga.
It's gonna be a long drive home.
Do
for
I
me.
look like
that's
Booba
a-
the Fool?
I'm using another route home just
So
for
that's a
you guys.
2025 red flag. I live in Salama Park.
I came here with no enemies. I
me tell
told
you.
y'all I'd like to leave
Guys,
that way.
Let me finish the story.
I was trying to do the math right now here.
Wait, hold on, Gob. Hold on. Let me finish my point on the Salama part. How loud do you scream when a condom breaks in Salama is very different to how loud that scream is when it breaks and you're in Ibex a couple of guys. What I'm saying,
Which is just the next road.
you cannot drive fast enough to UTH. By the time that you get there and you see a doctor, the doctor will be like, you know what, when you leave, take that chair with you, bruh.
No, man, that's too much, man. That's too much. You know.
Who told you to come here?
El said, I will cut you off.
You came from where?
I will cut
With
you
who?
off.
Who told you to come to this hospital?
I will
How
cut
many
you
hospitals did you pass? You couldn't go to China?
I will cut you off, man. They've been through a lot this year, man. There's been lots of flooding in Salama. Them wigs be clogging the
Listen,
drainage.
God knows what he's doing. That's why the floods are in Salama.
Yeah, if you just see a wig floating by, you're like, hey guys, we've reached Salama. That's how you know. You crossed the border. It's like a wig, and then you're like, wait for it, morning after. Okay, yeah, we're in the right place. We're in the right place. That's how the younger drivers know. I came here with no enemies.
Oh my God.
Came here with no enemies.
Virgin, did I have any water in my car?
Fam. I was talking about things that are trending this week.
Yeah.
It's the Chikondi video.
Oh my God.
Ah, no.
You were
fam.
You were making a phone call earlier about furniture off air.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, don't.
Where's this going now?
Because you broke a shit.
Is this the first time you're transacting with the person you're getting your furniture from? This you're testing them out.
Yeah.
You're testing them out.
From
Oh,
China,
sorry.
yeah. From China.
But
And
she could actually
the chair fell.
become a brand
talking about
ambassador.
That's what I'm saying. Like
chairs, yeah.
you want to test your furniture plug. I've got the perfect
Guys, listen, I'm not going to
Person.
be part of the people that are going to make fun of this girl, man.
No, I'm not making fun of her, but one thing that baffles me about the whole story is she said her boyfriend was blackmailing her. Mm-hmm. Boyfriend? Which boyfriend does that? Is that even a boyfriend for real?
No, that's underhanded though.
You know what
There's
I mean?
some trash out there. There's some real
Apparently,
scum out
allegedly,
there.
I can't
There's
confirm
some real
this.
scum out there, really.
I can't confirm this. I'll use the word allegedly strongly here. Allegedly, her boyfriend was
Hold on,
blackmailing
hold on.
her.
Wait, no. Is that? No, I can't drink that here.
Allegedly, her boyfriend was blackmailing
Unless
her
it's a cup.
to send him money with threats of leaking that video if she didn't. Well,
Wait, the
if
boyfriend
this is
wanted money
true,
from her?
then
Wait, hold on,
clearly
hold
she
on.
didn't send money.
Wait, but did you see her house though?
I'm not commenting on that. Last time I commented about somebody's house, I was in trouble.
What money? But then again, you don't get that big without money for food.
I'm not laughing at that joke.
No?
Where's my phone? I downgrade your points, bro. It's a black mirror.
I know, right?
But listen,
You
I
must not
always
want
say-
your next in-drive discount, young
I
man.
always say that's the only way to deal with blackmailers. Don't give in
Yeah, don't give it.
because they won't stop.
Don't give it.
You give them once, you're gonna keep giving it to them.
Yeah.
over
I
and
mean,
over
for as
and
long as
over
he
again.
has that video, he'll keep using it to blackmail you. So.
No, but that's
Listen.
garbage, man. Like I really hope they deal with him. If that's a true story, I really hope they deal with him. People like
That's
that.
revenge porn.
People like that should be.
And that is the scam. Those are bitches. That is the scam of the earth. any people that post videos that a girl
what I'm
sent to
saying?
you in confidence.
Yeah.
You don't do that.
On the flip side, can we think about this girl's mental health for a little bit, right?
Yeah,
now?
and that's what that for me. That's why it touches me so
really
much.
feel
For me,
bad
that's
for
why I would say like I compare them to scum, straight on.
Yeah.
Because
That's exactly
you are
what they
messing
are.
with someone's mental health. I mean, I know people who've taken their lives because
For
of
far less.
scandals.
far less.
Yeah, for far less. And
In fact, there's a girl in Mongu who failed her nursing exams.
right.
You saw that, right?
Yeah, that's also trending. I did see that.
And she killed herself.
Yeah, I did see that. The mental anguish you go through when you have public embarrassment. And we probably know it more so. I'm sure this has happened to you guys, fellas, where somebody has tried to drag you just because you're in the limelight. So
Oh,
they
yeah.
do know that that's a weak point for people.
Every-
She's an
every-
influencer.
every week, buddy.
There's some
You
yeah,
gotta-
there's
you
some
gotta have a-
asshole
you
trying
gotta
to pull
have a
that
thick
off.
skin.
Yeah, you gotta have a thick skin. There's some asshole trying
Yeah.
to pull that off. So I don't play with those people. I do not play with those people. Just last year, I got a phone call which was like, "Oh, we're gonna expose ABCD," and I was like,
About
"Yeah,
you?
yeah, about me, straight up." They were like, "Oh, we're gonna expose blah blah blah." Totally untrue story, whatever. And I was just like, "Okay, go ahead." And I was like, "Okay, sharp. Please go ahead, and thank you for telling me because I know where it's coming from." Right? Went straight to cyber crimes, and I was like, "Brace yourself." In case anything comes out, just brace yourself. So I wasn't even going to sit there feeling sorry for myself. I was like, and I told them, I'm like, there's laws against this, but go ahead.
How bad was this evidence?
There was no evidence even.
No, for you to go to cybercrimes and
No,
say,
no, it's
brace
just
yourselves.
the point that you do have
Were you
people
naked?
trying to test yourselves.
Were you naked?
No, it wasn't brace yourself like there was any evidence. It was brace yourself that someone's going to leak a story. It was just going to be words, for goodness sake.
Oh, right.
But it was like brace yourself because I'm gonna get some free money by suing your ass off. You know what I'm saying, kind of thing. Because and it's just you have to put your foot down, as you said, man. You have to put your foot down. So I decided to be maybe
Yeah, Kuta
proactive.
Kinte did, and you saw what happened to his foot.
Toby. Toby.
Oh, you missed the joke, huh?
No. And I was actually thinking of Kendrick Lamar's song when you mentioned that. Anyway, dude,
King Kuda.
we need to find Chikondi and introduce her to Dr. Naeem or something. Because there's no way a normal human being will go through all that and just remain normal.
You do need to be looked out for.
Let me.
You do need to
let
be
me look
looked
for
out
it right
for.
now.
You do need to be looked out for.
And coincidentally, I stumbled upon this, and I think this is Zambia Daily Mail, where they're talking about between 2021 and 2024, we had 100,000 mental illness cases recorded.
Right. And have you seen the suicide rate?
100,000.
Have you seen the suicide rate? And it's mainly men.
Of course, yeah.
So there's a lot of pressure.
In fact,
There's a lot of even blackmailing because some of these are like married men who like
I've actually been on the hunt for a couple of sponsors because I know God would need a lot more money. We already have 2 hospitals that have come on board for us to resuscitate the mental health podcast. The first one is Dr. Betty. Man, she tells me I shouldn't even know. Okay, listen, please bleep out her name.
Don't mention her name.
Yeah. So she tells me that right now one of her patients is in the last stages of cancer, which cannot be treated. So she is basically preparing this person for death. Can you imagine?
Yeah. And what are those 4 stages? It's like
And not only that, because it's not only the patient who you have to speak to, but the family as well.
yeah. 4 stages of grieving.
You know,
If the
speaking
last
of-
one is accepted,
speaking of
so it's a
preparing for
journey.
death.
and
So
a half.
we will have the mental health podcast coming back.
Speaking of death, I remember my dad died August 2014. Death is always painful, regardless of how prepared you are for it. My dad had, give or take, 6-7 strokes, and the last one took him. My dad died while having breakfast. You know what I mean?
Wow.
And conversations that we had, even just years before he went down with the first stroke in 2008, if I'm not
Is
mistaken.
there a different word other than stroke that we can use?
Just call it what it is. A stroke. He had a stroke.
Medical term.
Yeah, it is a medical term.
No, I'm sorry. It's my mind.
Yeah. But years before that, my dad would always talk about, guys, one day I'm going to be gone. Cry for a day. Don't mourn.
Well, he said these 2 people.
He would always prepare
Wow.
us in that way.
Wow.
And then he had a stroke in 2006 or 7? 6.
Yeah.
Yeah. He had a stroke. He was paralyzed on the left side for a bit. I think I spoke about this when I talk about the herbal medicine, right?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. But even when he had the first one, we would always like continually have those conversations. Like he would always sort of prepare.
Right.
When he finally died, my dad died while having breakfast on August 4th. Yeah. And I was on radio. You know what it's like. You're on radio. And you know how they tell you to leave your emotions at the door when you're on radio?
Wait, did they tell you while you were on air?
Dude, on Sunday morning, I went to my parents' house because I needed a bus. My mom owned a bus. So I needed that bus now to drive from Kitwe to Solwezi, take something, and back.
Yeah.
So I did that drive to Solwezi on Sunday, came back late night. So I couldn't take that bus back to my parents' house on Sunday night. So I figured I'll take it Monday morning before the breakfast show. So I take the bus back to my parents' house at 5 a.m, knock on my parents' bedroom door. My mom opens the bedroom door and I get into their bedroom and I say hi to dad. And I was like, how are you feeling today? It was like, proper. And I talked to my mom for a little bit and I walk out of the house and I go to the radio station, 6 a.m, start the breakfast show. At 7 a.m,
Yeah.
mom calls and she's crying. I'm thinking,
Whoa.
what the hell is going on? Says, your dad has left us.
Whoa.
What do you mean? He's like, yeah. I was like, I saw him just an hour ago. Says, yeah.
No,
I was preparing breakfast for him and while having breakfast, I just found him cold.
No, that's. I mean, it's always difficult news to hear. Worse when you're like broadcasting. I got a death notice. Someone I was very close to, Sush Maddox, the late Sush.
Oh, Sush! I worked with Sush in Kittu as well.
Yeah, man, we were together the night before.
The accident. Yeah,
the
and his wife
accident.
was pregnant then. Yeah.
We were in that vehicle together, just maybe like a couple of hours.
No, you were with him.
Yeah, we were together. That was just the junction at Nipa. I had headed out because I had the breakfast show really early. And then the news came in and I was on air. So, man, that's crazy.
That was like Christmas period, right?
That was around, not Christmas, but definitely like that quarter. And yeah, that was like in the middle of the show, and you're like, oh, I'm going to see homie at work by 9 hours when I
That
clock off.
Zimbo. That Zimbo could rap.
Yo, that dude was like way ahead of his time.
That
know what
guy
I'm
could
saying?
rap.
That guy was way ahead of his time. And even just working with him, like his mentality, he was a very fundamental part of like supporting me and the madness that I was trying to bring to radio.
He did the same for me in Kittu as well.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He was just that type of brother, man. He was like, oh, that's a dope idea. Let's go for it. While other people were like, maybe skeptical or whatever. He was just that guy to say, you know what? Yes. But he wouldn't just say yes. He would be like, yes, and I will. That was always followed by like, and I will. So he would always chip into like an idea that was like worth your energy.
I was saying all of that just to say, I think the conversations we had prior to my dad's death sort of prepared me for that. Like even when we were moving his body from like the bedroom to the ambulance that came to pick him up, it was like, okay, yeah, we've been speaking about this for quite a while. But the pain is there still. Burial happens and you're like, you know what? No, yeah, let the man rest.
For my dad, it was very sudden. I wasn't even in the country.
Oh.
Yeah, I wasn't even in the country. In fact, it was, you remember Tatiana? She used to run Yip Yap Media for me. I'm not sure if you met
introduced
her.
me to someone like that sometime back.
Tatiana.
Light skin, yellow bone?
No. That was another associate. But
Right, okay.
Tatiana, I think I think she was before like you and I started knowing each other.
Right.
So she was basically running one of my media companies. And I was out of the country, so I was flying in from Cape Town into connecting to Johannesburg. So I had touched down. I was staying in the hotel in the airport. So I had already checked in at like midnight, right? And she calls me. I'm like making my way into the gates, basically. And she calls me and she goes, "Are you sure?" Now this is a Saturday. My dad was at my house the last time I spoke to him. And I remember we had an Arsenal versus Liverpool game. My dad was like the guy, my homies, like were his sons. Okay. So we had like, he would watch soccer, like friends like the late Alfeo, Czar. Yeah. Czar. I think Czar was maybe even scheduled to come that day. To pass through. I'll get home sometimes and just find like my friend's shoes at the door. And I'm like, who let you in? It's like, oh no, Pops was here. So, we started hanging with him first. Sure. Make yourself comfortable. So it was one of those situations where, I knew we were probably going to hang out with the homies and whatever. In my head, I was like, yeah, we're going to throw a braai. So I check in at midnight. But in the morning, my feet just get heavy walking to actually board. And Tatiana calls me and goes, "Are you going to make the flight?" I'm like, "Yes, I slept in the airport." You know, she's doing her thing. She's checking on me. She's making double show. She's like, "Are you going to catch your flight? You won't be late." I'm like, "How can I be late? I've checked in." But for some reason, I called her back and just said, "You know what? I don't feel like jumping on this flight anymore. Let me jump on the next flight." Just for no reason, I was like, "You know what? I think I just want to hang out in the airport
A little bit more.
alone, just a little bit more." I mean, I was doing work in Cape Town and I was flying in. So I said, "You know what? I haven't really had a break. So yeah, let me just catch a coffee and I'll get the next flight." I wasn't even sure if my ticket was going to cost me more to change it, but it was so heavy on my spirit just saying, "Change your flight." And I get there and I'm changing my flight at SAA counter and they're like, "You've already checked in. You checked in at midnight. You can take your time and catch this next flight." And I said, "I don't care what it costs. I'm changing this flight." And fortunately, it didn't cost me anything. They checked it out. They were like, "Oh, yeah, you can change it." So I called her back and I'm like, "Guess what? I've decided not to fly in right now, so you all can pick me up later." And she goes, "Oh, okay. I'll call you back." Then she calls me back 5 minutes later and she's like, "Okay. The reason we're trying to check if you're landing is because your dad had a heart attack at your place 4 a.m. So you see, it was like God knew I needed that time just to be by myself. Because I think had I like landed in Zambia
And then heard the news.
You know, I wouldn't have had time to process everything. You know, it would have been straight to the funeral house. You haven't even unpacked. You're expecting to see the dude. The last time it was like, "Bye, I'm off to Cape Town." The last conversation we had was about my kids and how I'll get back and I'll find you. Right. So that was like, I think just God's grace of saying, because to this day, there was no logic, me just saying, "I'm going to change my flight.
Everything happens for a reason.
I'm going to sit in the airport by myself doing nothing." And even she was like, "That is a weird reaction." So in her head, she was probably like, "Did someone tell this fool?" You know? But then she called back and she was like, "No, the reason I was double checking is because this has happened at 4 a.m. So I had that time by myself. I was out of country. So I literally had, you know, physical and mental separation. Just
Did you break down?
Of course, man. Of
In
course.
the airport?
Yeah, of course. No, I sat in my coffee shop. There were two stewardesses at the next table. And one of them was just like, "Are you okay?" Because I was just like staring ahead. So she was like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "Yeah, I just got this news. I just lost my dad." And they're like, "Oh man, I'm really sorry." And you know, just sometimes even the fact that the first person I told that news to was a stranger and their reaction, I believe they were also God sent.
Right.
Yeah. So, you know, they just said some stuff to me, which, they didn't know me from a bar of soap, but it was like, okay, thanks. And with that
this guy-
advice, let me process now to get back to the rest of
Did
it.
you get her phone number?
I did not get a phone. And now in hindsight, I'm like, there were two air stewardesses next to in hindsight. Because I'm talking about all these blessings and windows God gave me, and he's like, that was the soulmate. Now you see.
know what I mean?
Now you're saying they don't exist. Yeah.
I mean, listen, Pops is already gone, right?
He ain't coming back.
You might as well.
Might as well add a +1. It's like, we got one less person with my surname. Girl.
You know how crazy it would be if you brought a date to the funeral?
Fresh one.
She was on duty, though. She was on duty. So I knew they had a flight to catch.
I know people are going to lose their minds calling me insensitive. He laughed. He's the one whose father died.
Yeah.
You have got no right to get offended on someone's behalf.
My G, they already deducted your points.
They've already done your points. Oh, black girl should become a reality.
You're saying something.
No, saying this nigga here, the dad is still alive. You still get calls from him. Be grateful, bro.
Oh, yeah. No, that is awesome. That is awesome.
You notice how I rarely comment on people's posts or yours, but when you posted your dad, I think I commented about how you and him.
That is awesome. That is awesome.
Put some wrinkles on Nelson's face.
I try. No,
That's
really?
the dad.
I
Yeah.
try to be the father I am to my kids.
Even
I think
the walk.
because of my dad. Like we were mates to the very last day.
I can literally see what I'm going to be like in...
Exactly.
Yeah?
Yeah. No, the dad really pushes
40
DNA
years.
forward. Like
Yeah.
he really pushes DNA forward.
So you guys get along very well, yeah?
Oh, absolutely.
Cool.
Oh, we do.
Cool.
What kind of intimate things do you talk about? Do you talk about like sex, girls,
Politics?
girls, sex? Do you talk about that as well?
No, sadly. But
African traditions.
yeah. And my dad is the kind of person who I was laughing with my sisters about this. It doesn't matter if I haven't seen my dad in a while. When I see him, I can see the excitement in his face. And when he gets close to me, guess how he greets me? Holds out his hand for a handshake. I'm like, no hug, nothing. I'm not doing that. So I go in and I hug him. My mother.
But he gets it. He's like, as a father, he's fucking with you. Like, he gets it.
My
he gets it.
That's African intimacy for him.
Yeah, no, he gets it. Like,
That's as far as it goes.
that's the dad joke he's
he
played
wants
on
to shake
you.
my
Like,
hand, so I'm like, no, we don't do that. So I actually go. My mom, you have to peel her off you.
That's my mom.
that's moms.
You have to
That's
peel
African
her
mothers.
off you. Like,
That's African mothers.
Jesus, I cannot breathe.
That's African mothers. No, I mean, I think I really am the father I am because of the father I had. So even in mourning,
Yeah.
it was only years later that I actually cried. And that's why I'm saying that preparation in the airport, like I got on the ground, I didn't cry at the funeral, I didn't cry afterwards. I had a lot of responsibilities that fell on me. But it was only like years later. And unfortunately, maybe that was part of some of the things I was dealing with a couple of years ago. I know I shared with you that I was not in my best mental frame of mind a couple of years back, made some really stupid decisions.
Right.
Treated some people badly and shit. But like through it all, it was like I knew I couldn't really cry because I'm just so grateful with the time I had with him, man.
You know what I mean?
No, the
Spend
dude
some
was a
good time,
G, man. Pops was Pops. As I said, you can ask people like Czar,
It's like
the late
your boys
Alfeo,
went
like
to this St. John's school in Joburg. Your pops are just like, look at AKA's dad. You met him.
I have a couple of times.
Tony Forbes, Mr. Tony, Uncle Tony.
Yeah, I met him a couple of times.
You've got what? You went to St. John's too.
No,
Not in Kitwe, bro. Not the one in Kitwe. Not the one in Kitwe.
They met at the hospital in Woodlands, though.
Not the hospital in Woodlands.
You got to get that checked out, fam.
Fam.
How we moved from topic to topic, and now we're talking about more morbid-ish. Thanks, Kalenga.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying, be grateful. Mom, 40 years old, the father is still alive.
Wow.
Mom.
Wow.
Man.
You were like, oh, we don't. I didn't know we got
Getting
so
gangster.
many ratings, so it's like you should do the traditional. Hi, mom. Hi, dad. Come on.
What are you talking about?
You gotta say hi, mom. Hi, dad when you're broadcasting.
They don't watch this.
I thought those were like the only
some-
people that watch. According to you,
They
you're like, we don't get
They
viewers.
actually don't know I've got a podcast.
Really?
Lucky you. Imagine how your parents would look at you if they knew
Let me tell
the
you.
shit you talk about here.
Let me tell you the funniest.
That's why you're still in the will.
well, that too. Look, to be honest, and this therapy, right? My dad growing up was that kind of person that I've got two sisters.
Okay.
The one is a lawyer, the one is a CA, right? I did software development, so I'm a software developer. So that's what I've always known,
Yeah,
right? So
yeah.
I came, I owned my own company, I was doing that. So them finding out that you have a podcast to me would be like, the hell you doing?
Is that still the traditional African view?
What
like,
the hell you doing? Right. So I got to a point where I went to Australia, and my sister says to me, "You look like some dude who has got a podcast in Zambia."
oh no, she didn't.
Did I tell you this?
No, she
Yeah,
didn't.
remember you told me to
She
kiss.
says,
No,
"You
she
look like
did.
some dude who has got a podcast
Oh
in Zambia."
no, she did. So she has no. Even as your sister, she had no clue. Like
she
this
had no
was one of the hustles.
Shit. I enjoyed doing this, but
Yeah.
to some extent, I felt like them knowing that I have a podcast would be like a notch down that to what they would have expected.
You know,
from
and
me.
that's the crazy thing. Like, I get it because I was coming from a world of banking. I studied law. So when I came back, I was with a bank, and the bank was literally across the road from the radio station I did the breakfast show at. So I was just getting depressed, like counting other people's money. It was a boring as hell job, you know. But I was in back office, in all fairness. But it was one of those things where I was like, I can feel like the passion in me because I was already doing campus radio at Wits University, and I was one of the In fact, I was the only first year that was in management. I actually chose that university over UCT after St. John's because of Voice of Its radio.
Excuse me.
Like, that's how passionate I was about radio. Like, even my university decision, my law school was based on the love of radio. At the time, YFM was just on fire, you know? And I was like, one day I'll do a breakfast show. So long story short, it was a situation where I had to make a decision. I remember leaving that job, which was good money, you know, bachelor, no bills, no kids.
Talk about it.
No responsibility.
No responsibilities. And I was like, I'm going to go for this job that's going to pay me 800 kwacha a month because it was part-time radio. And I was like, how do I explain this? And I told you, my pops and I were like, tight, okay? So I was just like, yo, they have not renewed my contract. And he's like, how, man? All the way up to the chairman, they feel you and whatnot. And I was like, yeah, they just have not renewed it, you know, kind of thing. So I'm gonna see where it goes. But the goodness was I was already doing radio. I'll do radio. And then because I was across the road, shout out to Mr. John Kasonde. He was like, cause I would knock off at like crazy hours. So he was like, you know what? You stay until anyway. So come in at 9 where the rest of the people come in at 8 because you finish your breakfast show and you're walking across the road. And then you just put in an extra hour at the end of the day and it's all good. So even those guys like in the bank, man, really supported me. I don't even know if you get bosses like that in the corporate world now. Can you imagine? Someone telling you like, oh, that's your passion?
Go for it.
Go for it. And then on top of that, you'll make up because we see the work you're putting in. You're ticking the boxes. So I don't even know if you can find a boss like that in the bank. You know what I'm saying? But he was such a quintessential part of the whole thing. So I juggled the two and it was just like too much strain because, you know, you're getting in there at like 5 and then I was leaving the bank at 21. It was just, I did that for like a year. So afterwards, I was like, you know what? Let me bet on myself. Let me take a leap of
5
faith.
to 21.
Yeah.
I mean, you missed a lot of sleep
5 a.m.
pattern, eh?
Only youth can get you through that, my G. Only youth,
only youth,
and passion
yeah.
can get you to pull that off. And I chose the job that paid 800 kwacha eventually, you know, but
Yeah, my first job at
We're
radio
good now.
paid me 600 kwachas.
you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Speaking of youth, listen, shameless plug. We have got pop-up events by youth in Manda Hill. I'll tell you the dates now. Okay, so we've got activations on the 15th. Oh, that's tomorrow. So by the time that you see this, it'll be done. And on the 22nd, Manda Hill, that'll be the first thing. We have got a talent show. We're going to have a couple of judges. I'll tell you who the judges are. On the 8th, the 15th, the 22nd, the 29th, Manda Hill again. So the 22nd and the 29th, keep that in mind. We've got a career talk, Manda Hill again, 22nd. So there's a lot happening on the 22nd. Empowerment workshops on the 22nd again. And the Bayouth Challenge on the 29th. And that is the official launch of Bayouth. A lot of people have been asking me what Bayouth is. So the 29th, just come through the Manda
Look out
Hill.
for
You'll
that.
know exactly what it is.
You won't miss it.
Wamfwa.
Speaking of youths and making money,
And speaking of you, actually, wait, there's something that I want to run to. Have
Right.
you noticed how, and I don't know if anybody here has got any information, that there was talk of changing the constitution?
Oh,
yeah,
there's
we're
always
discussing
talk,
that in the
though.
morning, yeah.
But there's always talk.
Do you have more information?
I heard
about
the vice president talking about the Ministry of Justice going to release a
Amendments.
draft. Yeah.
Yeah,
Wait, is it
amendments.
still Jaime?
Who? The chief
Minister of
the
Justice.
No, not the ministry. Like the courts are gonna release. Is it the courts? What was in the papers today?
I actually haven't
But the-
heard that story,
as
but I
of
know it's
today-
like an ongoing conversation.
but do you
amendments
have
to the
more
Constitution.
information on it? Because
Unfortunately, I
Kangana
don't
has
have the information
This
on
is
the
where we
latest
need
chapter,
that,
so
Jonah.
I want to play catch
No, but even
up.
on the news, I was listening to Hot FM News on the
Yeah,
way
what
here.
they say?
They played the little insert from the vice president, and she was talking about a lot of the rumors that are going out. People are talking about we're trying to amend the 50+1 to favor the UPND government. No. She said, this is a very honest government. We're not touching things that are very contentious.
Oh, okay.
We're just changing a few minor things.
Okay.
Like what?
And she didn't quite say.
Yeah, we need to hear those.
Yeah, we need to hear
well,
those.
So
but
it'd be
she did
interesting.
say
Yeah.
the Justice Department is going to release a draft, which everybody's going to be
Right,
able to read
right.
and see what changes there are. Made
Yeah,
to the
because of course,
Constitution.
changing or amending a constitution involves a lot of stakeholder engagement. So I
Exactly.
wouldn't panic, and that's why I'm like, oh, that for me that sounds like business as usual.
Yeah, but even-
because constitutions are there's a term they use. Basically, they're living. Okay? They're living, they adjust according to the times, according to changes in precedents, according to social needs and social environments. So it is a living document, so to say. It's referred to as a living thing. It evolves.
Are you calling Jonah?
Yeah, he's not picking up.
There's someone I need to call as well.
On the constitution issue?
No.
About furniture?
and breaking furniture.
You're going to hell.
About furniture?
In a basket.
Dude, I don't know if you've noticed this week. By the time people watch this, it'll be last week. Almost every day, there's reports of either a civil servant or civil servants being sentenced to jail time.
For what?
Or getting arrested. New arrests. 3 that I picked up just today. First of all, the guys in Chipata who've been sentenced to 3 years each. You saw that? I don't know if you heard this, Elson, but three employees at Chipata Level 1 Hospital who stole COVID-19 kits worth 2 million kwacha at the height of COVID, of course. At the beginning of 2022, have been jailed 3 years imprisonment with hard labor. The trio includes Zege, 46 years old, a biomedical laboratory technician, Malamankata, 44, a driver, and Langston Kampango, 54, a biomedical laboratory technician. So they're doing 3 years as of yesterday.
Yeah.
Finally sentenced. As if that's not enough. Today, by the time you watch this last week, 15 prison warders from Wembeshi Remand Correctional Facility in Chilanga District have been suspended for pocketing huge amounts of money meant for rich inmates from their sympathizers. You're in prison, people bring you money, the wardens keep the money.
Yeah.
Is money allowed in prison? Let's start there.
I think so. I mean, how do the guys get stuff in? How do they buy the cigarettes?
Well, I
and
mean,
stuff?
I think that's a very good question. I don't know the technicalities of it, but obviously you do have to trade at some point.
You trade goods, not money, though. Like, for example,
or maybe it's supposed to be held by the wardens.
I'm getting my mind out the gutter, man.
Yeah,
Sometimes
I know exactly
sometimes
what
you can trade money as well. If you ever find yourself in prison, you can use cash.
But I hear that cigarettes are a currency.
And that's the point,
Brent.
because you
Brent
do,
in Zambia.
Yeah, but so all those are commodities that have to be purchased in order to get in. So maybe it's a matter of you receiving, and then of course you convert that
Are you calling
into
a prison
something
warden?
that is tradable.
Well, actually, no, a prison warden.
Hold on. I know.
Rick Ross?
Ken,
Both.
What's good?
how's the Bali? You well?
That's a lawyer, not a prison
Good,
warden.
buddy.
He defends prisoners. Ken, you're on the podcast, by the way, so don't call me those names you called me offset.
Okay, it's a good thing you said it beforehand.
You're alone. Tell us your secrets.
We're going through stories making headlines this week, and we're discussing the 15 prison warders from Mbeshi who've been suspended because they were pocketing huge amounts of money meant for rich inmates. Now, the question that's arisen from here is, are inmates allowed to have money in prison? Would you know?
Not that I know, but strictly
Okay, call it
speaking,
prison
I don't
warden.
think they should actually have money, because remember that then your liberties are sort of curtailed, because if you have money in certain places, like in prison, you are then at liberty to, how can I put this slightly, bribe certain people if you have access to money. So from a perspective of just understanding the prison system itself, you shouldn't have certain liberties and certain access to certain things like phones, money, and all of that related, because then you can then do what you shouldn't be doing ordinarily.
Ken, explain more. Actually, y'all should have asked him then. Because didn't he say he was doing business? A situation like that, how did that work out?
She's asking, saying there were people who used to do business while in prison. Like, how do you explain that?
Ordinarily, again, you shouldn't have mentioned names, because then that makes it difficult to make.
No, okay, this is a recording. I'll bleep it out. Worry not.
Yeah.
So the point is, you could still do it. Just because you can do certain things doesn't make it legal. So there's certain things that you could do and you could get away with it and work around the system, but that doesn't then make it legal. If on the other hand, you have people who are outside, who you've given custody and power of attorney to run certain businesses. Right. For example, I know certain people who've gone in for some time would give power of attorney to certain people outside to ensure that their business continues and there's business continuity. There's nothing illegal about that. But it then becomes illegal if you are in prison and you have certain control over certain things that you couldn't ordinarily should have control. Because remember that in certain companies, if you've been convicted for certain offenses and you're arrested for certain period of time, you can't even serve on their boards. So you would then have to either leave the board or relinquish your authority to somebody until such a time when you're back in proper standing, quote unquote.
Right. Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Thanks.
All right.
Cheers. I'll call you when I'm done.
Okay, sure.
Okay.
So I think what's interesting is we'd have to establish how they got their hands on that cash as well, because from what Ken has said, 100% spot on. And that's the point I was making earlier, that you may not receive direct cash, but maybe that cash was meant to be used to purchase something that's then the, for lack of a better term, internal or acceptable commodity or means of exchange. So for example, I'm locked up and then you're like, yo, this guy's going to get you $1,000 worth of cigarettes. Maybe that's how they were obtaining the money in the first place. Because I should even think, even the people sending the money are like, wait a minute, it's not like there's Ntemba inside prison. It's not like you're paying your Showmax subscription. So in order for them to even get their hands on that money, I think we would have to understand what was a justifiable reason for cash to be exchanged in the first
Precisely
place.
why I said, is cash allowed? Is the
I
cash
think
allowed there?
because
Not behind
remember the
bars,
article
no.
says this money is coming in from sympathizers, right?
Yeah.
So my understanding then
Maybe like
is,
purchase this guy a blanket,
Exactly.
here's money, you
also there's a
know,
warden,
or, yeah.
and I understand the prisoner is supposed to have money in there. So I give you the money in the hope that you and the prisoner will negotiate something where you can purchase stuff for our relative.
Yeah, but that's
friend,
also weird because you usually will come with goods, ready. So that's why I'm saying I'd love to hear what these guys told these people to say, no, give us the cash and we'll convert it into whatever this prisoner needs.
But then again, it still
And these
goes
are
back,
rich inmates, by the way.
And again, it still goes back to the same. You remember the thefty girl,
Thefty, yes.
where she said that Trade Kings will donate things to prisoners, but it would not make it to
wouldn't
prisoners
reach.
because
Yeah.
the wardens, and that's primarily why the Minister of Justice then called us and said, I need to tell
Come and defend the ministry and
right.
the
So
correction system.
it's not just cash. There's allegedly, according to the thefty girl, so many of the things would be donated to
Yeah,
prisoners.
and therein lies another case. Yeah,
yeah, and
Okay.
it wouldn't reach. So
All right.
not just cash.
Moving on to the next case, the last one I saw this week, another civil servant. This one is still on the run, but probably, maybe by the time we air this teacher would have been arrested. He's actually a reverend, by the way.
Wow.
God, you know the case.
Wow.
So the reverend has confessed after fleeing with 700,000 kwacha exam fees.
Glory, glory.
And police in Lusaka have launched a manhunt for Reverend Eliphas Banda, a teacher at Matero Boys Secondary School and a cleric with a Reformed church in Zambia.
That's my church.
This man needs some reformation. You too.
Huh? For real?
Yeah, that's my church.
The Reformed church. Yeah.
I
Dutch.
thought you meant that was your actual like congregation.
No, I go to the one in Kabulonga.
Oh, okay. Great food
Oh,
market.
that was
They
the
still,
Kabulonga boys.
they still
Yeah.
doing the food market?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
okay.
a busy church, yeah.
No, not only that, but they still have a service in Afrikaans.
In Africa,
Yes, I know.
that
It's
bothers
very
me.
big amongst the farming community, the Dutch Reformed Church, which was the church that
Right.
brought apartheid, actually.
Yes, we don't speak about that.
No, we don't speak about
We don't
that.
speak about
no,
that.
no. They're
No.
refugees now.
No, we don't speak about
Yeah.
that. Yes, in America.
Yes.
All right, cool.
Though they did not want to take it. AfriForum came and said, listen, we're just playing.
All right.
We have got vineyards here.
Guys, Trump, we need a 7-hour podcast. That's right.
Listen to this.
I don't-
loading.
wait.
Loading. That
Can
one
I
is
finish
loading.
that, man?
That one is
Can I
loading.
finish? We'll come to Trump and his
Yeah,
executive
I
orders.
hate that man.
I love Trump.
I hate that man.
Listen to this gentleman. So he's from the Reformed Church in Zambia and has been accused of absconding with over 700,000 intended for general certificate of education examination fees. And the police spokesperson says the thefty was reported on Monday, March 10th, by Given Mukanshi, the school's deputy head teacher.
Snitch.
So the stolen funds, totaling 713,000, were collected from students to pay for their 2025 examinations.
Guys.
So school-owned Samsung mobile phone valued at 4,000 kwacha was also reported stolen by the same teacher.
That's like a straight clip.
So
to
for me,
700 grand. And I'll
the
take
phone.
that phone back. Like, what are we doing, bro?
on the night of March 7th, between 22 and 23 hours, the suspect left home and proceeded to drop off his office keys with the night guard, instructing him to hand them over to his assistant, Miss Rosette Mulambwa.
Because you knew he wasn't coming back.
Exactly. However, the night guard instead opted to hand the keys to the deputy head teacher who reported the matter. Following this, Banda allegedly sent a text message to his assistant confessing to taking the money. And
Wow.
a docket
I mean, he's a reverend after all.
of
Yeah.
theft by public servant. He's a reverend. He confessed quite quickly.
Three Hail Marys should
A
fix
docket
that.
has been opened and investigations underway. So apparently the Ministry of Education has had to find money to pay exam fees for these kids who've already paid for the exams.
That is crazy. He's got a
Oh, no, could be adults.
VIP
So it's a-
space in hell.
So it's a victimless crime.
VIP
Why?
space in hell. Oh no, not really.
Oh, because they've already paid.
No.
It's still theft by public
It's still
servant.
theft, and that's.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you said that because all these reports that are coming out, theft by public servant, and that is a lot of the attitude. All right, even where Ekadio goes down, you know what I'm saying. You're like, it's a victimless crime. Government has got tons of cash.
Or a
But
bank stealing, saying insurance will cover it.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But especially where civil service is concerned. I was, of course, in one of my previous lifetimes, spokesperson for Health Professions Council of Zambia, as you remember. And when it comes to, like, for example, the theft in the medical sector, which is
Say it right.
50
Yes.
in the Medi. All right. So that's why when you hear stories about like COVID, there was scandals worldwide, because people know that when it comes to medicine and what you have to pay for it, there's no compromise. Okay. Like it's a blank check to keep your citizens alive.
Right.
And people will then justify in their heads and say, it's a victimless crime because it's a blank check. Therefore, we can always get. But that is literally, and I'll boil it down to this, that grandma not getting her medicine on time, dead.
Murder.
That child not getting their medicine on time, dead. So a lot of these things that we psychologically place as victimless crimes have got grave repercussions. And when you talk about inconveniencing someone and their educational system, you know how you work your butt off to make sure your kids stay in school, have an opportunity to be educated. For anybody to take that away from you, would you call that a victimless crime? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So even where it's like, this child is going to a government school and they're getting free education, they're one of those getting free education, but you're still stealing from the Ministry of Education. The fact is, it's money out of the bucket. And as I've said, the end consequence is you're going to compromise someone's ability to go to school, to get an education. So when you boil it down to that reality and that level, and you look at it that way, these thefts by public servant, that's why I say they have special places in hell. No, really, because it's the ripple effects are massive, guys. But it's such a culture. It's like, I take a deal. You know what I'm saying? But like, who are you taking away from?
Is the question.
And you and I won't see that person. We won't see that person in Salama. But that person like didn't get their insulin in Shangombo.
Why does Salama Park have to come back again?
I came here having no enemies.
And you will leave with plenty to
Apart from civil servants that steal.
fam. Speaking of enemies.
Kawala
and,
la party.
Hey, dude, how's this guy had a brilliant concept on radio.
No, we are still there as Kawala la party. Have you not heard how our members are doing? What you just read.
These are the members.
These are the members. These are AGM minutes you've given me. How did we do? No, we've recruited a reverend, our minister of good morals
prison
and
wardens.
religious affairs. We even have a minister of religious affairs on the run, Reverend Banda. He's our Kawala party minister, just there.
Did you guys hear about that girl, Blessed?
Which one?
The one that got raped and murdered?
I hate such stories, man.
Did you hear about it?
No.
You
What
didn't hear
happened there?
about this?
No.
God, do you have more information?
That was, where was that?
Listen, apparently she was murdered.
That's
Yeah,
here in
she-
Lusaka?
Kamala South.
Kamala, yeah.
Kamala South.
Oh,
What's
man.
what?
And there's a member of parliament that has offered a 50,000 kwacha reward. Do you have more information on that, God? No, but on the Blessed issue, do you?
Yeah, basically, the girl knocked off from school. She was sent to go and buy tomatoes and onions by her parents. And then she went missing. Then after that, they found her body dead, lying lifeless.
You know,
A few meters away from the.
for me,
A few meters away from the what?
The police station.
for me, like I've always debated.
But you know what's crazy is from the member of parliament that put up the reward money. He said apparently as she was going to the store to buy that, there was a boy waiting for her. Did you hear that part? there was a boy that was waiting for her that left with her, but nobody has said this boy's name. So he said, if we can start there by getting that dude's name, I'll pay 10,000 kwacha.
How did they find out about the boy?
The witnesses.
Okay.
There's people that must have seen her live with the boy, because apparently the boy had been waiting for her.
So at this point, it would be a prime suspect, obviously. I mean, if we're saying we start from there, he's a prime suspect.
Person of interest.
But
Person of
and
interest.
again, the
Person
fact
of
that she
interest.
got raped and killed most likely points to the fact that she knew who did it.
Yeah, because she was probably going to identify the person if she lived through it. Yeah.
But again, so this is what boggles my mind. Are such violent crimes on the rise? Because again, we heard about a guy who got tied up in his car
And burned.
Very gruesome.
and got burned. So it begs the question: are such crimes on the rise, or are they being talked about more?
I think with social media, we're getting to see these things more. I think they've always been there. We're just going to see them more because we get
social
reports
media-
almost in real time
but
now.
Kalenga, social media has been there for a while.
How
many times have you heard
I think, like, and I'm asking this question to myself as well, as much as I'm like compounding Elson's question to you. But is it like, are we there now as a society? Because we haven't been traditionally a violent society. It's not like South Africa where it's like this type of ish happens every day. Unfortunately, I mean, South Africa was so crazy. At some point when I was there, it was statistically likely for a girl in Zola to be raped than she is to learn how to read. I mean, it was just mad.
Yeah.
You know? But as you said, like, we're hearing these horrific reports. We're seeing these gruesome things. At some point, there was even like a rise in like gun culture, people shooting people, you know, in open. And yeah, like, are we just deteriorating in terms of...
Not only that, but it also kind of feels like with each crime, it gets more and more gruesome.
Yeah.
And it feels like we are also slowly getting desensitized to it, given how people are reacting to it. A dude got tied up in a car and he got set alight.
Yeah.
How... Do you know how crazy this is? This is like mafia style.
That was the first thing that came to my mind.
This is so I don't know how this is not
shocking anymore.
How the president is not addressing things like these. How is it that it's only on social media for 2-3 days and then
we move on.
And then we've now moved on to
and because it's on social media.
I'm saying it'll be front page today to move to page 10 by tomorrow. And then
but because it is on social media, I think that's where it's on a platform where we have low attention span. You know what I'm saying? It's different if, like, for example, this thing came out. You know how when you watch a documentary, it remains a talking point. It lingers.
Right.
Because it's usually on more traditional platforms. I think also these stories, you bring a valid point that these stories, a lot of the serious things that come up, when they're put on social media, maybe don't have as much of an impact, because 1 minute you're watching that, the next, your attention is grabbed by something, 180 degrees, facing.
Yeah, I mean, titty slapping takes
Also,
your attention.
You know what I'm saying?
Titty slapping.
1 minute you're talking about, oh no, this is stealing, and this is stealing of medical equipment, guys. As I've said, special place in hell, guys. People die, ne?
What you're saying?
People die.
Wait, the topic that needs to be discussed is how much is government really investing into security of the country?
But then again, this is so again, Gob, for us to arrive to that conversation, it has to be brought about from situations like these, right? Because you have to start the conversation from somewhere, and then we go to security.
Check. For example, right? In Queensland, or rather any other better... okay, let me just give you an
See,
example.
it's people like you. I told you how I'm just getting random gifts at the gate, right?
Let him finish his point.
Because now you're talking about Kingsland. Yeah.
No, in Queensland, right? For example, in Queensland, a thief wouldn't go there blindly just to go and steal slippers and shoes because they know that they'll be caught by CCTV cameras. For example, speaking, right? Reason being because they have made sure that there's a security aspect up to that.
But there is theft in Kingsland. You know this, right? And you know where it's coming from? Just hold that thought.
It's going to blame Bauleni.
Hold that thought. No, it's not coming from Bauleni. Hey, Jonah. Hey, how's it, man?
Hello.
Hey, what's good, my man?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Drinking milk, getting tall.
Really?
doing?
My man, I'm one glass away from being an NBA player.
I don't believe that.
Well, hey, listen, Thomas too said the same thing.
Sorry?
Thomas said the same thing too.
Doubting Thomas.
Well, the taste of the pudding is in the eating.
This is
There's certain things you cannot hide.
This is true. This is true. Jonah,
missed your call.
yes, you did. And thank you for returning it. I'm sitting here with Kalenga and Chi, and we are recording a podcast.
What is happening?
That is where you come in. Because of the three of us, we are not as knowledgeable as you are.
About what?
About the Constitution and the amendment. Just maybe in a minute, would you happen to know whatever you know we don't, basically. So whatever you say, even if you cough, it's a lot more than we would know at this point.
Literally.
Well said. Quote him on that.
Touche. You can go ahead.
Like, what do you want me to say? What exactly, like...
What should we know?
What are the highlights? What should we know
Latest
about
conversation.
about what is
the
being
whole
discussed?
issue that's... Okay, so basically what's going on? Like, what people are making noise about?
Yes.
That's what you're asking?
Correct.
Okay, so basically the thing is, the president has on 2 occasions now said that the country is ready for a constitutional reform, and in effect, actually, is to be specific, constitutional amendment. His argument and his government's argument is that the constitution should be much more inclusive, especially towards young people and women. And the president, I think, has on a number of occasions said the constitution has got lacuna. And because of that, him and his government believe that, and well, to be fair, a lot of people believe that it needs to be adjusted. So the challenge at the moment, really, from people that are in opposition of this being done now, is that they feel it is too close to an election to make such changes to the constitution, because civil society organizations and some members of society and the opposition say the attempts usually before an election are to disadvantage opponents. The president is talking about delimitation of constituencies, which is basically making more constituencies. He's also talking about quotas in parliament, certain quotas being for women. Some of these may actually be progressive, but the biggest issue right now is the timing. And you may remember even the issue of Bill 10, for example, in 2020 into 2021. So the worry is the timing more than anything, if you ask me, because when I look at the issues objectively, I kind of feel like these are issues that need to be addressed constitutionally. But I also agree that the timing is a bit off for constitutional reforms, because then the constitutional reform process is going to be politicized, as it has in the past. Yeah.
For a constitution to be amended, do people vote for it, or is this a parliamentary issue?
There are parts of the constitution that cannot be amended by parliament alone. They need like a referendum. For example, the Bill of Rights. That's what failed in 2016 because we had it alongside the election. But there are parts of the constitution that can be amended through parliament. So it's two ways. There are certain parts of the constitution that cannot be changed just by parliament, and then there's the larger chunk of it actually can be changed just by parliament.
Last question. Is it by law that if you want to amend something, you literally have to verbatim say what it is that you are changing? Because in some countries, for example, they will sneak in certain what is the word that I'm looking for?
Clauses and whatever.
Clauses, right? Which would be the actual reason why they want to introduce. So it's like a bait and switch, right? So they will dangle one carrot and sort of sneak in something totally different, which if people then vote for it, then they'll be like, oh, but then there was also something in that clause. So I'm not saying that's what's happening now, but I'm saying is every tiny little detail, is it meant to be said, or what's your experience in that?
Yeah, so the draft bill of the Constitution is then published to the public as it goes to Parliament, because it also has to be read. Like in its entirety in Parliament. So most times, I feel like that is not usually the issue on whether or not some things can be snuck in. I think that's a very political narrative that's driven. It's not possible for that to happen. What is possible to happen is those clauses, for example, that are not favorable to the public cannot be looked at in isolation. They are part of a holistic constitution. So you find, or a bill. So you find there are progressive clauses, but there can be one clause that is not progressive. But you don't vote on individual clauses. You vote on the entire bill. So it's either you accept it as it is with that negative clause, or you reject it. Even if there were 99 good things and there's one bad thing, you have to reject the whole lot of it, because if you accept, you allow that small bad thing. I don't know if you get my point.
Yeah.
100%. Got it. All right, Jonah. Thanks a lot for this. Like I said, you are smarter than the people on set. Greatly appreciate
That
this,
is
man.
not true.
Yes, sir.
Next, we'll be calling you to do our taxes, Jonah, just so you know. Yeah.
And I'm sorry about the younger dude. So I'll tell people. So let me tell the story quickly.
I'm still traumatized from that.
While you're on the phone, let me tell the story quickly. So Jonah ordered food through the Yango app, right? So the Yango delivery guy gets to the restaurant, and then he calls him back, and then he says the specific order that he's ordered is not available. So the delivery guy then hands the phone over to the waitress, and Jonah proceeds to order something different. He's given a total of how much that new order is going to be. And then Jonah asks, so how should I pay? Should I pay to you guys, or should I send the money to the rider? And she says, either or. He says, fine. So he then says, okay, cool. He sends the money, about 400 kwacha, to the rider so that the rider pays. The rider then sends him a message. Guess what the message says? Jonah, you want to say what the message said?
Your food was very tasty. Less spice next
all
time.
the money that I've sent to him has gone.
So the rider had Congole.
Oh man!
And the entire 400 go wiped
Oh
out.
man! But why you riding around like that and using that number to do official business
I'm
though?
still traumatized by this.
As you should. Your whole face is a,
Complaint, though.
your whole
I'm not
face
gonna complain.
your whole face has been a meme. I can imagine what your face looked like when you heard this.
Oh man!
Oh man, you are bad.
All right, buddy. Thanks a
All right,
lot.
thank you so much, gentlemen.
What's
Cheers.
up with food and trauma today? You lost food today.
Yeah. We identified. By the way, they've got a bunch of they've got a number of pets on site.
Stop, Chi.
And we
Let me
identified
explain.
the black dog,
Stop, Chi. Let me explain.
the bingo,
The Poppy.
the Bobby.
Let me explain. I drive by a very popular chicken restaurant. Drive-through. I get myself chicken.
Delicious
4
chicken.
piece and a twister. Right. So I get here, and like the peasants in this neighborhood, you have to manually open the gate.
Exactly.
So I get out of my car, I open the gate. The tiny little dog runs to me. Oh, cool. I'm likable. Yeah. I get in my car, I drive in.
That's a setup.
So that was a setup.
Yeah.
That she was lining me up. I get out of my car to shut the gate. So I leave my door open. It was literally 5 seconds that I shut the gate. I turn around and I can't see the dog. Because the 1 minute the dog was like jumping all over my legs, right? And suddenly, for some reason,
Quiet.
he just left and it's quiet now. I'm looking around. Where the dog at? Anyway, cool. Let me get in my car. Let me get my drink. As I am getting to my door, this nigga, we locked eyes with a big piece of chicken in his mouth, runs out of my car.
I died when you told me
We
this.
literally locked eyes. Like he looked at me in my eye.
I got you.
Like funks, ne? Funks. Funks, guy.
The whole chicken gone.
You know, I just stood there And I just watched him run up to the back of the house.
But have you ever had a braai in front of that
I
dog?
said, "You little mother." Okay, fine.
Have you ever had a braai in front of that same dog?
No.
See, they have to go through that training. They have to go through that training where they're able to see, like, you lay a table outside of food and they sit their ass down. Yeah. Nah. Yeah.
Should have seen how depressed Olsen looked when he came
Yeah,
in.
no, he came in, man. Ish. Steal a black
John
man's
was talking
chicken.
about politicians and all. Is that true, Market 2 standing?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I think so. Dude,
One said you retiring up now. He's doing music back to back.
You know what? Koi, you know Market 2 better. Could he be standing?
are you calling him?
Yeah, I'm calling him. I always believe there's no smoke without fire. King Booger.
Yo, what's up, my brother?
Hey, you're proper?
I'm good, man. I'm good.
You are live on the podcast right now. Sorry to put you on the spot.
But Timwe.
It's just a quick one, boss. We've been seeing a photo of you going around Market 2 standing for MP. There's no smoke without fire. What's the true story behind this?
I thought it's very clear. You didn't see it from a parody account or anything. You saw it from like an actual music video by.
Oh, it's from a music video.
Tell him I already
Yeah,
printed
I think,
Chitenges.
the screenshot that everybody's been posting is from a music video.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is he running or not?
Anyway,
but
an
despite.
official announcement.
Hello?
Did he say making an official nomination?
Sorry, you were saying? Sorry, network cut. You were saying?
An official announcement of my intentions will be published soon.
So it is.
So you
he
are
is.
standing for MP. Which constituency?
Now what an official.
I'm excited on your behalf. Well, we want to start the
Thanks, man.
campaign. We need more. I wouldn't want to call you a youth, but you are a youth at heart. We need more young people in
Oh, his
politics.
hairline
even
is
a
not a
youth.
youth.
And that's the thing. Like our youngest MP is not necessarily even a youth. If we're quite divided, even in the previous government, I think the people that we considered like young MPs were people like Bowman or Vincent Mwale, and those people are old people. You know what I mean? If we're just being realistic,
Yeah.
they were not as young as Vernon Mwanga when he was in public leadership. He was just like 21. You know what I mean? So.
yeah.
That
After
whole
he
Kaunda
announces?
era, we're really young people. We're people below the ages of 40, you know what I mean? But it is what it is.
After he
Market 2,
announces, he needs to come on this podcast.
before you make the announcement, I'm sure, wanting to get into leadership stems from you seeing something that you're probably not happy with or a change that you want to make. What's the rationale
I
in your
don't
case?
think so. I think it stems from me feeling like instead of me just taking from my country, maybe I should give. I think I've always naturally been a leader. So it's not even
come on the
a
podcast.
stretch. People who know me know that this is something that comes naturally. Yeah.
So you're aiming for a seat back home, or is it a Lusaka seat?
No, it's home. It's back home. It's one of the 2 seats in Chingola.
Wow. Under any political party, going as independent?
I'm going as independent. Because generally, I think. Okay, anyway, I'm diving too much into this.
There's no official
soon,
announcement. It's
I think
already
my
confirmed.
intentions will be very clear. Thank you so much, guys, for having me. I'm in the middle of something right now.
Now you've given us the information we need,
I'll be
and
on the podcast if you want to talk more.
we'll call you next week, bro. Let's make it happen.
All right, guys. Thanks.
And
Thanks
wishing
a
you
lot.
all the best. Good luck with that.
I appreciate it, bro.
Cheers. Okay.
All right, that's refreshing that he's taken a service,
I think
a
so too.
service before self approach.
Yeah.
We hope he maintains that. We hope he
I
maintains
Benevolence.
I-
we need
I-
benevolent leaders in this country.
I blame Donald Trump for this.
He's making everybody feel like they can do it now.
He set the bar so low.
Oh, is that what it is?
Come
Is
on.
that what
This
it
guy.
is? No, but I'll tell you what. Here's a very valid point to that fact. I'm more inspired by Trump than I am Barack Obama. I am.
Tell me why.
I love Trump.
Tell me why.
I am way more inspired by Trump.
Tell me why.
Barack Obama went to Harvard. He's a Harvard trained lawyer. He came out of Harvard. He did community work in the inner city of Chicago, a city with one of the biggest crime rates, okay? He could have worked anywhere else as a Harvard lawyer. He went to the grassroots, dangerous environment. Not the best of standard of living for a Harvard graduate. He did it for the people. He started at community level. He rose. He's an intelligent man. He's backed by an intelligent woman and his amazing wife, Michelle. Okay. Right. They go on to have a proper transition, a proper ascension through the halls of Congress, and eventually.
Mention how he was broke and he actually moved in with Michelle Obama.
You see what
and
I'm
the
saying?
Parents.
And he actually said, "I can't promise you money, but I can promise you an exciting life." Man delivered both.
Fast forward to the point where Trump is.
This is the point. This is the point. So he's had this amazing ascension, right? Then you have Donald Trump. This guy was a C student, okay? Saying the most controversial things.
Rich dad
Yo,
and rich grandfather.
Yeah, great. C student, rich grandfather.
Silver spoon in his mouth.
I'll just put it this way. All these things that Obama's decorated
white.
with. Hold on. All these things that Obama's decorated with. You knew Obama was going to be a success in life.
No, you did not.
Yes.
No, you did not.
A Harvard-trained lawyer.
It doesn't matter.
He could have gone either route.
No, it doesn't matter. The fact that this guy had the
Let
odds.
me finish my point.
Go ahead.
He could have gone either route. He was going to be a success.
No, you do not know that.
Yes.
No, you don't.
Obama, if you have read Obama's life history, this guy was destined to be a somebody. I'm not talking about just president. I'm talking about he would have been all right. You graduate from Harvard, you're going to be all right.
No, you are not.
Donald Trump inspires me because,
again,
hold on, let me make my point. Donald Trump inspires me because if a dumbass can make it, then there's hope. That's the real hope.
No,
not a Harvard guy getting a Harvard guy getting a good job. When a dumbass gets a good job, that is the real hope, my guy.
Again, listen.
That is the real hope.
What you're leaving out of this is this dumbass is white. Right?
He's still a dumbass.
No, let me finish. This dumbass has got a father who's a billionaire.
Yes, and he went bankrupt at some point. He bankrupted the family. He bankrupted the family wealth. Yes, himself.
Yes.
So he came back.
So
he
what you're
bounced back.
saying is the rooms that he entered were rooms that Obama could only dream about.
Did you see Trump
as
becoming
a black
president?
child?
Did you see when you first heard? In 2016.
Absolutely not.
We all said no.
But do you know why?
The moment I heard Obama was running for office, I said there's a possibility.
Do you know why I then knew that Trump would become president? When Trump started to speak to his base, because as much of Trump is a racist, so is America. So when he spoke to his base, Trump was asked on national television, they are the Proud Boys, who are a racist organization, who are backing you. Can you right now on television denounce or distance yourself from them?
Which one would give you more hope?
Do you remember that?
Yeah, of course. Let me tell you, I covered the 2016 presidential elections.
You were in America then.
Yes, 8 cities. Trump's office, Clinton's office, Trump's office in Florida was our base. Clinton's office in California was our base. So yes, I remember that very well. I was there in the thick of things. Now, when I say I'm more inspired by Trump, it's because he came from left field, guys. You know what I'm saying? What I'm saying is this. Between you and your gardener, at the end of the day, if you're going to say, we expect one of these to be a billionaire, I'll put my money on you over the gardener. Now, with Trump, it's the fact that, and you're not missing the point, this man I see as an idiot. I'm like, if an idiot can make it in life, guys, there's hope.
But then you can't see again.
There is hope. An intelligent man making it in life does not surprise me, guys.
Hold on.
An idiot making it in life surprises.
Okay, let me.
Unless you're saying all those things that came with Trump
let me say my
disqualifies him from being an idiot.
Let me say my point. Do you believe that there is systemic racism?
I know all that.
That has been created to favor a white man.
Yes, but
in America.
But I didn't think Trump would come through that system.
No, hold on.
Neither did you.
Despite that, if you listened to an interview that Warren Buffett had, when people asked him, did you see yourself being where you are now? He said there were a couple of things that I can credit to me being smart. Knowing when to buy, knowing when to sell.
And a lot of luck.
But there are certain things that, there are certain things that I had no control over.
Right.
Being born the year that I was born.
Yeah.
Being born a man.
Being born American.
And being born white.
And American.
and American. Right.
mentioned that. I
All
remember that
those
interview.
are factors
Environment is
that,
everything. Yes,
right.
yes,
All those are
yes.
factors that could lead to you being a success.
Yes.
So in all of this is precisely why I am saying I am not surprised that a white man who comes from a rich family made it.
I'm surprised that Trump can actually wear his trousers correct, is the point I'm making.
No, I hear you. I hear you.
I'm surprised that he actually knows his left
Hence
from
why
his
I
right.
said Trump, again, he
Of
spoke
all
to-
those
he
people
spoke to his
that
base.
benefit from that system.
He spoke to his
Yeah, no,
base.
it came out of left field.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
The
You
other
were
thing as well,
surprised.
the other thing as well that made Trump win, two other things, in my opinion. Number one, Trump did not speak like a politician.
No, he didn't.
Yep. He
So
was
people
very
co-
different.
So
yeah.
people connected to him. The other thing is, I honestly feel that America was not ready for a female president.
Well, I'll tell you this. As I said, I've been in Clinton's office, her California office. There's three things that I believe. Okay. I was sent out there courtesy of the US Embassy after our own elections, the referendum election, 2016.
Yeah.
Okay. We were the only ones that conducted a presidential interview a day before elections. We were flown out to the Ndola Presidential Lodge. And I remember even asking the president then about the referendum, because that would have been actually a game changer. But long story short, we have a situation where I have observed, in my humble opinion, I shared this at Catholic University in Washington. I believe there's three factors for anyone to win any election right across the world. I boiled it down to these three things. It's timing, it's economics, and it's environment. Timing, okay? What is the atmosphere
So
of the
happy
day?
you've said that.
What is the atmosphere of the day? Okay?
Before you move on to your next point, please pause when you're done with the timing part. Because
So-
I would have rebuttal to that.
So timing, you are susceptible to, as Warren Buffett said, when were you born? Okay. When were you born will also tie in with what is going on at the time. For example, Obama's time, Macron, we were seeing young leadership
in Canada,
in Canada,
France.
in Madagascar. We were seeing young
Yeah,
leadership.
Rev
Okay.
Lamanana, yeah.
So that was the wave. And he came in there. I'll pause on that one before I move on to my next point.
Obama becoming president?
Timing.
No. It's precisely why Trump then became president.
Okay. We'll get to that.
Do you know why I say that?
Okay, yeah.
Because there are two extreme
It's a
opposites.
pendulum. It's a pendulum, guys.
So America was shocked that they had a black president.
Yeah. So they were like, oh, we can actually do something extraordinary.
Bingo.
It's a pendulum.
And it went right. It swung the direction.
That's exactly. So that's timing. The pendulum.
Yeah.
Pendulum measures time.
Right, of
Okay.
course,
So
yeah.
timing. Then you have the emotional aspect. Okay. The emotional aspect. Man is an animal. We're very primal at our nature, at our very nature, even deciding who leads this pack of animals called mankind. So what it is there's two emotions that you're going to garner to win any election. That is either hope or fear. Okay? Let's look at staying with the US elections, and we can even bring it back domestically. Hope was Obama. Fear was Bush. Axis of evil, and the like.
And Trump too, fear.
Trump was fear. The Mexicans, I will build a wall. At the time, the first time you
There's
hear
a
this,
caravan of
it
foreigners.
sounds so ridiculous. And he's like, I will build a wall. I will protect you. You've tapped into fear. Okay. So people will either vote for someone who gives them hope to say there's a better tomorrow, or they say, I will keep you safe. You're not going to die tomorrow. Okay. So those are the two primal things. Clinton did not inspire any. And I remember telling one of his speechwriters this on a 4-hour flight between Denver and, I shared this between Denver and California. I had shared it online, not realizing I was talking to a Clinton speechwriter to say that she does not have that appeal. And that was the weirdest response.
But you know what's crazy about that?
Yeah. You have to inspire one of those two emotions.
To sort of quash that argument, Clinton had 5 million more votes than
Right.
Trump did.
Right.
You know this, right?
Yeah.
More people voted for Clinton
Right.
than voted for Trump.
Right.
Trump only won on the college electoral.
But remember,
So what then does that say about the electorate?
I'm glad you asked that because, and of course, yes, based on the electoral college system, and that's why we went to Clinton's California office, because California holds, under the electoral college system, it holds the most number of points. So that's why
which
it's seen
one?
as the most important state.
No,
California.
it's not. It's not California.
It is. It's got
not.
the biggest population.
No, yeah, but the college electoral votes.
Yes.
It's not Cali.
It is.
It must be. If it's not.
It is California.
No, it's not.
Google it now. I believe it's about 60 points.
No, it's the swing state. I don't know why I'm thinking.
It's
of
not a
Philadelphia.
swing state.
No,
You're thinking
hold
of
on.
swing
Ohio
states.
is a swing
Okay,
state.
let me
There's Ohio and, yeah.
let me tell you what a swing state is.
Which? What did you say?
A swing state,
hold on.
the most electoral college votes.
Which state?
Which state holds the
has
most
the
electoral
most?
college votes? So a swing state is a state that basically, if you manage to turn the tide in your favor, you're most likely to win an election.
So it could be any state.
Could be any state. But these are states that traditionally, when they swing in the favor of a certain candidate, they tend to win.
Usually so high.
Hence the name is
You're right, it's
swing
California.
states. That's why I was there working in
So
California election office.
So California has got 54, Texas has 40, Florida has 30, New
Yes.
York has 28,
Yes.
Illinois 19, Pennsylvania is what I was thinking. I was thinking Pennsylvania.
So,
Tennessee.
So you understand
Pennsylvania
what a
has
swing
19.
state is now? You understand what a swing state is? I'm just from explaining.
Yeah.
Okay. So California is
Wyoming
very
has got 3.
important.
But
Yeah.
California has always been Democrats.
Well,
For the
you
most
see,
part.
you see, that's the thing. For the most part, okay. But anyway, I'm still running down this list before we digress. So that's why the Clinton team felt it very crucial for us to visit that office, for us to be in that office, was because it holds the most number of votes. Okay, the most number of points. Okay.
For the college electoral.
For the electoral college,
Yeah.
right? Because, so what the electoral college system is basically, it's not just about how many individuals vote for you, it's how many points those states hold.
Yeah.
That's why I said California is seen as the most important because it holds the most. Swing states are states that traditionally, when they go in your favor, you win. Hence it being called a swing state.
It's the one
It
that now
swings in your motion.
Right.
In your favor, rather.
Yeah.
Okay.
But anyway, okay, go finish.
Sure.
Finish off.
So with regards to that, there was still the hangover, to answer your earlier question. Why then did she get more real numbers, individual votes? There was still the hangover of hope as well. There was still that, and I would say even in California, where she did win, has more people. You understand? California has a huge population.
right.
And
Okay.
homeless people too.
Well, yeah, homeless problem. But they have a number of individuals. So if California is in your favor, you will get that and you will get the points. But remember, you do have your other states as well. So you have to do that mathematics. So in terms of the popular vote, yes, there was still the hangover, I would say, of California, states like California, traditional democratic states, still seeping off the aftermath of the Obama wave. Okay. So you would have individuals, you would have still liberals or leftists, if, as you may call them, still there in real numbers, but where it is based on the point system. And that's why they say he did not get the popular vote.
Okay, let's fast
right.
forward to Trump now. His policies. What's your thoughts?
No, have you exhausted the three?
No, not yet.
Oh, there was another one still.
The last point.
The last one. So it is timing, it's emotions. And then the last one is very simple. Doesn't even need to be dug into too much. It's basically economics. Okay. What economic environment, and of course, do you have the pocket as well? I mean, money is a huge determinant. Whether the money is in your favor, whether those making the economic decisions are going to benefit from you being there. So those are the three things.
There's
Even if we
apparently
look,
a minimum amount of money that any presidential candidate has to burn or raise
oh yeah,
if they have to have any hope. You know how much that is?
How much is that?
$1 billion.
Yeah, I mean it's a big money game, guys. I've got friends who are ex-politicians. Elias Chipimo Jr.
I
and
met him last week.
Yeah,
Man.
he'll
Very
talk
nice
about
chat.
it openly. I'm
Yeah.
like, hey, big bro, like we're
He
like
says he'll come on this podcast after November.
awesome stuff.
Is he paying?
No, he doesn't need to pay. Everybody's gonna love this man on the podcast. Interesting.
You'll be doing him. You'll be doing, I think, the country a favor by having him
Oh,
on even
brilliant,
for
man.
free.
We had a very nice long chat.
But
last week.
he's one person who just said, fam, this game is expensive. It burns money. Like it burns a hole through your pocket. So yeah,
I
wouldn't be
want to hear
surprised.
your thoughts, your opinions
On Trump.
on Trump now.
Oh, there's particularly with what? Just in general?
In general.
The executive orders,
Especially-
bro. It's raining executive orders in America.
But those don't really mean anything, though.
Dude, half the world is unemployed right now. What do you mean they don't mean anything?
No, they
No.
do have
So-
a huge impact.
So, no, I hear you. So, an executive order is not law, right?
Yes, but my point is, it's the impact.
It's sort of like a wish.
No.
Yes.
You can't call it a wish.
Yes, it is, because they can be blocked. So you can say, I'll give you an example. He's been ordered to rehire the federal workers that he fired. That's number one. Number two, he put an executive order to end birthright citizenship. It's been blocked.
Yeah, but my point
It's
is,
not
it's
happening.
raining executive orders. And
No,
some of those orders
I
are
hear you.
damaging to
No,
the world.
But that's what, Kalinga, what I'm saying to you is when he signs an executive order, it's not law.
It's not law, but I'm talking about the ripple effect that it's having. Look at USAID right now and how many people are out of employment right now. And at the American Embassy, how many people are out of
Yes,
employment.
because that is within his control.
Exactly my
But
point.
there are things that are not within his control that still have to go either through Congress or through the courts.
My point is, those executive orders which have had effect have had a lot of
100%.
effect.
Yeah,
Exactly.
absolutely, I
That's my
agree.
point. It's raining executive orders.
And I mean, you do also realize for them to be raised, they are also scrutinized. That's why it was given a 90-day period, for example, like the whole USAID. Yeah, because these are things that require review. So they do disrupt life. They do have trickle effects. I mean, I was like 2 days away from doing an event that was funded by USAID. Only to get the phone call. I was like, what? The gate's locked. Yeah.
Yeah, so thoughts?
Thoughts on Trump? Okay, well,
His policies.
I mean, I'll start from what we just discussed with regards to just the pendulum that is changing of the economic torch, so to say. It was a given. Given that pendulum theory, all those things played out. Okay, and once again, the aspect of fear played in. Make America Great Again is basically make America white again. What I mean by this is, by the year 2050, your average American would be brown-skinned and female.
True.
When I say an American citizen to you, what do you think? White guy, Caucasian, male,
Yeah.
right? That's not going to be the case, at least the tide that was heading there. So when you mentioned the right-wing groups, they felt, and that's why they'll be like, we need to protect our culture.
This is why they're banning abortions.
We need to protect our culture. So these guys need to repopulate as the white population in the U.S.
Yeah.
Okay? Taking away our heritage and our chicken. Like a Zambian dog in the parking lot of a podcast. But they were genuinely scared. This was like a fight to preserve culture, so to say. So that was now the fear aspect. So Make America Great Again was a fantastic slogan to say Make America White Again. So who are you going to go for? You're going to go for the immigration conversation. You're going to say, I'm going to build a wall.
The abortion
Okay,
conversation.
you're going to go for the abortion conversation. You're going to be allowed to breed. We're going to go for the homosexuals. You're going to be allowed to breed. These are preservation, necessary steps that they're taking to preserve culture. Okay. So what do I think
Not
about?
only that, but did you see the groups that he began banning? Do you know he's now banned Black Lives Matter?
Well, he called them a terrorist organization even during his first term.
It's been dismantled.
An entire terrorist organization.
He has now removed DEI.
Yes.
Did you know this?
Yes. That was about,
You know what
that was
DEI
last
is,
month,
right?
actually. Diversity. The diversity and inclusion.
So DEI was that in any organization, you needed to have a diverse group of people, not just white people.
Quotas.
Yeah.
Right. So it's
Right.
kind of like BEE, right? So he's removed that.
Yeah.
He's removed. Yeah. So go ahead.
You can see how that's preservation of culture for a particular group.
Absolutely.
That's why even going as far as saying now we also need great farmers. Where can we get them? Elon, any ideas? Oh, we have a Boer tradition and a Boer culture. So we are going to now find a way to get these guys into the US pressure-free.
As refugees.
Okay. So what do I think about Trump? Well, that's me making the point that I'm not surprised he came back, because also the left ate its own foot.
They did.
They ate their own foot.
Absolutely.
Just like our Zambian opposition is doing, which I hope we're going to get to
about
as
Zambian
well.
politics. But feel free to.
Eating their own foot.
Feel
The
free to.
left. I mean, it got ridiculous at the end of the day. I mean, you had like
The Democrats' messaging is
It was
pathetic.
confused. It was very confused. I mean, even just this environment that we're in now. I mean, you've seen the trends. We were laughing about it earlier, talking about the label of narcissism and all these things. You know, it's some of these things have been so labeled, and that's what the Democrats did. they put labels to everything, and it just got tiring.
Absolutely.
Like if I walk in and I'm grumpy because the dog took my chicken and I'm pissed off, I am just pissed off.
But now these
You know
people
what I'm saying?
put
But they would have labeled it
Right.
as, oh, no, he is non-guest friendly. Because he walked in angry about, no, he's just had his chicken stolen.
It's
like,
stolen
it's
by
okay.
a goddamn
You know,
dog.
it's okay to grieve. It's okay to feel low. It's not necessarily and these things also led to, big pharma and things, because now you're putting labels and everything. You're giving a condition to everything. It's, out of, I'd say, all these so-called millennial sayings that trended under this administration, I'd say the best one to come out of it was, it's okay not to be okay. You know, it's okay to go through life. Not everyone's a narcissist if you don't agree with them.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely
Not everyone's
right.
a narcissist if they let you down.
You're absolutely right.
So all these things got labels, and it just got so tiring. And even genders started getting 16
absolutely
labels.
agree with you.
So they ate themselves.
And you know what it is, Chi? They became too woke. And again, to some point, if I am to side with Trump for anything, he was anti-woke. Because
allow me to correct you on that point,
sure.
on that term, woke.
Yeah, sure. Go
Woke
ahead.
as well.
Is what?
Woke, that term, originated from black culture. And I believe us using woke wrong is further watering it down.
Well, however, in what context it is known for now?
Yeah, what it's known for now.
Yeah,
and
is what I'm
unfortunately,
referring to.
and that's so sad because it's been now tied in with ridiculousness. Woke comes from Gil Scott Heron, a Gil Scott Heron poem, where he was talking about waking up to the ills of society amongst the black population. And it was also used amongst other black prominent speakers. The Kanye West track, "Wake Up, Mr. West, Mr. West." That's where that sample is from, right? It's making reference to that. It's like, black man, wake up to your situation. So that was what being woke was. But it's been taken to now, a situation where it's a pejorative word. It's negative. It means you're being ridiculous or overly sensitive.
And that's what I was referring to.
You know what I'm saying?
Right?
So
Not the
even
original.
that, and it's sad because even that, the woke movement, like, black men should be proud of being woke. It just means you're awake to the system. Like, you look around your surroundings and you know what time
I like what
it
you're
is,
saying right now, because we had a back and forth with one or two of the people that are in our patrons group about Black History Month. All right. And they felt that it excludes other races and other groups of people. And I am for Black history. A lot of people look at it as an American, like it only should apply to America, but there's a lot. Only now have I realized that there is a lot more conversation that's happening around what coloreds from South Africa are, especially with Tyler when she was on the Breakfast Club. And I also see this on Ebro, because they did not know what the term colored was. Right. And
for them, it's a racist term.
Precisely. Right. So, this was obviously around February and Black History Month, where it's an opportunity to kind of educate people about the history. We also spoke about how, I'm sure you know this, like Jack Daniels, the Tennessee family, have only now started paying royalty. You heard about this, right?
No, just go ahead. I'll tell you. I tell you why I laugh every time you mention Jack Daniels.
The original recipe was from
the slave.
Slave.
Yeah.
Okay.
Old number 7.
Okay. Yeah. Do you know the town Jack Daniels is made in?
Tennessee.
That's
the state. The state.
Do you know what the town is called?
No.
This is the most racist name. Lynchburg, guys. What did you think would happen?
It doesn't get more racist than that.
Lynchburg, Tennessee. Look at the JD bottle. Lynchburg. What do you guys get down to in Lynchburg? Oh, we just make liquor. Just don't drive by after I tight. Lynchburg, guys. I mean, so when this story was coming out, I was like, yeah, it's very hard to stand up for your rights as a black man in a town called Lynch freaking Berg. You know, it's like you're trying to fight for royalties in a town called Beat the Caffersville, you know, like,
but I don't know, man. We saw a trade war that's not happening between America, Canada,
Europe now, we saw tariffs going on,
Mexico, China. Here's my theory. So bear with me for a second. Here's my theory. I could be wrong. I've been wrong so many times. Trump imposed 25% tariff on Canada on various goods.
200% in Europe.
And they retaliated by slapping tariffs on a number of goods as well.
Right.
What happened in the stock market? Plummeted like a mother.
Right.
Here's my theory. Trump wants to make money.
Well, yeah, if you're on the right side of chaos, you know what I often say?
So when the markets drop,
Yeah.
you buy on the low.
Yeah, of course.
And then what? Then did he say?
Then you fix it.
No. Not only did he fix it, he said, "I'm going to pause it until April."
Yeah. Look, these are the games between politics and economics. I like to say, as Kawala La Party president, stop praying for peace. Just pray for the tender that supplies the bullets. Ne? Yeah. Sometimes just be on the right side of chaos. That's all you freaking need. So, my basic description, just to get back to your earlier question, Trump is like the art kids were running the country before. Now it's time for the rich prick jocks. Yes. The art kids and the drama club had their time. They did an interpretive dance at the school assembly that no one got for the past couple of years. And then now the jocks have taken over and it's like, broski, come over here. Oh, this is my buddy Elon. Say hi, Elon. We're now running this country, you know? And in typical Trump fashion, it's literally that. Like he does represent that sort of, a lot of people have called him a bully. Because he'll say he knows everything.
Which
I
he
know
is.
the best. I know the best. I'm not a bully. I'm the best. There's a difference. I know all the words. I wrote the dictionary. Ask me any word. Happily is also a word. Just like
Bigly.
sexily, laughtily. It's a thing. Theftily. In fact, that is what the EU is doing. They're theftily coming into this country. Is it right? It's not right because I didn't say it's right. So, you know, it's the pendulum, as we said.
Yeah.
It's the pendulum.
You still are impressed by this dude?
By what?
You still are impressed?
No, it's just elements of him that I pick out. Like you mentioned, there's things about him that impress you and sort of inspire you.
Yeah.
Same for me.
Well, he's a man of
Especially
action. I'll
the
give it to
business
that.
side of him inspires me.
Well, I mean, he's a man of action. I'll give it.
Which part? Him
The
being
Democrats
bankrupt
were a
6
lot of
times?
theory.
Yeah, that too.
The
And also
Democrats
just
were a
the
lot of
tenacity.
theory. He's just like, you know what? This means this. It's like, no, this can mean this if it's your truth.
Let me tell you this.
You know what I'm saying?
If there is
Gets in there, it's like there's two genders.
There's a couple of things that I love Trump about. Whether it is right or wrong, if he says he'll do something, he'll do it.
That's man of action play.
He
Yeah,
follows
absolutely.
through on what he says he'll do.
Which is rare for politicians.
Which is
by the
rare
way.
for politicians.
Yeah.
So whether you like it or you don't, it's racist,
He will
it's
do it.
not, he will do it.
And he moves quick on it.
Bruh.
So you know what you're gonna get because a politician
Precisely, you're not gonna be
is a
surprised by it.
sneaky animal.
You're not gonna, and again, that's the type of racism that I like, the top notch, the one that you
We
don't
don't
have.
like you around
The
here.
explicit
Because
one.
you're-
It's just in your
yes.
face.
Yeah, then
I
you know
hate-
it's time to leave Lynchburg before the
I
sun
hate
sets.
I hate the subtle one.
Then you know.
I want the
Tell
one that
me
is
to my
direct.
face.
Say it here.
But Elson, you speak so well for a black
See,
guy.
there you go. See,
Look
that-
at you.
that-
I'm just saying, bro. I'm just saying. I mean, you did come in here complaining about chicken, so I thought,
Right.
Elson,
A typical black man complaint.
lock. You know, is my phone still safe, guys? Is my phone still safe, Elson?
Yeah,
I
right.
feel so safe around you. I even charge my phone in your place, and you speak so well.
Bingo. that kind of racism.
That kind of racism.
Yeah. Do you want some watermelon?
The problem is I always do. I'm taking this 20 years back, guys. I'm taking this 20 years back.
But then again, do you know who else loves chicken? Everybody.
Everybody.
Urban.
Colonel
Right.
Sanders.
What are we doing here?
KFC became
But hey, listen, we can sit here and speak about Trump all freaking day.
That, as I said,
I
is
wanna
a
see-
7-hour show.
Yeah, I want to see if I have got any more other talking points that I might have left out from our patrons group. One of the things that we did not do is give thanks once again to our amazing sponsors, brothers.
Let's go. There's something I need to bring up.
Ooh, you know what? I'll be doing myself and a huge section of society a misservice if I did not say this. Can we have some sugar-free products coming out of this brand, please? No, really, I'm dead serious because
Yes.
they do make quality stuff. Okay,
Water. They give you water or vodka.
Like a sugar-free energy
than
drink
water.
or something, right?
No, but I mean, yeah, and something even if preferably if it's non-carbonated because I've been diabetic, as you know,
Yeah.
you know, for
Wait,
like
hold
over
on,
a
guys.
decade.
Hold on.
Marriage. I'm the best advisor. I've got experience.
How many marriages?
My friend, I'm a social media influencer.
She has more
My
original
job
than
is
Alvin.
to influence you. And when I influence you, I get paid for it. So when people say, Maria, don't come on social media, I know what I'm doing. Everything that you do in your life must bring you money. If it doesn't bring you money, if it doesn't bring you happiness, then get rid of it. You're not living your life for anybody. You are living your life for yourself. So make sure it brings you money. Make sure it brings you happiness. People who are causing you to be unhappy, get rid of them.
Let me pause this. I don't agree with this.
This is just
That
a
whatever
very
you're doing
twisted
it for money
message.
and happiness.
This is
Because
very
then if you're
twisted
doing that,
message.
sell cocaine. It brings you
I
money,
was
doesn't it?
about to say, so that is no. But the problem is you have a lot of people that follow these guys. Anyone can give advice on anything. We're just in that age, and unfortunately, it's not everybody who vets things. Look, I'm in groups where people post stuff. Okay, even local stuff. There's a lot of fake news that goes around, and these are educated people. These are colleagues of mine. These are CEOs, MDs. And first thing first, I'm like, oh man, that's a shocking story. But even before I say that, I'm like, I'll take that story and I'll just throw it in a Google search. It's that simple.
Yeah.
But people don't do that. And unfortunately, idiots like that thrive. Who's that, by the way? Who's speaking? Which house is she in Salama?
That's
Dude,
Maria.
that was Maria Zalumis.
No.
Yep.
What do you mean now?
No. That's
The
wrong.
Z farmer, that was Maria Zalumis.
That's wrong advice, guys. That's wrong advice. It
Well-
doesn't boil down to that. I believe it's too simplistic, guys. I believe it's too simplistic. I mean, I'm cracking a joke about it, but really it's not that simple, guys. It's not just about justifying, as you said, if it's making you money, it doesn't take into account morality. It then ties money equals happiness, which it doesn't. No, it doesn't. It doesn't. So things like that, unfortunately. And if we do have influences, and that's the point, because you even know that you're influencing people. Okay. So take time to research some of these things. Take time to soul search. Just pressing play, and because you have 1,000 people follow you, it doesn't mean that you are necessarily an authority. I think what the point she was making is she's an authority to give advice. Are you an authority to give advice, or are you just popular? There's a difference between the two. People don't seem to realize that, ne?
No, they don't.
Just because I have a following, now I should be giving tax advice. Just because I have a following, now I should be giving relationship advice. Just because I have a following, now I should be giving wealth advice. No, you've got a following. It doesn't mean you are an expert in that regard.
Right.
End of story. It means everything I do, because I've got X amount of numbers, I can bake you the worst piece of crap you have ever eaten. Am I now a Michelin star chef to be giving advice?
Gob,
It's
you
the
want to say
same
something?
thing.
Gob, you want to say something? I think your hand was up.
All right, cool. No, we're done. Just one more thing, Gob. I think you've got something against Toela.
Excuse me?
I knew you were going to bring you pop your head up on this one. I think Gob has something against Toela. And two things have happened in the past 1 year. Look at this on the screen right now. Look at how he spelled her name.
Towels.
Towels. Like towels.
Bruh.
Do you want to explain yourself?
The last episode we had with Toela, you spelled her name as Towels Kaira.
It's giving 50.
No,
bruh.
wait, hold on. Hold on, Chi. I take this ish seriously. Please pick up the microphone, Gob. Do nobody speak about Gob for now.
What's the question again?
Do you have something against Towela?
You spelled Toela's name as Towels Kaira.
Boys.
And the name kept coming. You know, I noticed when we were having this episode, because I was watching this in the background. I noticed it kept popping up.
You're trying to make beef with a future MP.
No, never mind him. Me. All right? I've had a crush on this girl since I've seen her.
Because I was about to ask, Manje, there's food for guests and then there's cheese episode. Okay, you just answered that question. You had a crush on Joel for how long?
Hey, dude,
Lord,
who
bruh.
here?
Those
Who,
are signs.
who here will try and F you after this?
Those are signs, bro.
Yeah, who here will try and F you after
No,
this?
me, I told you, I've come in here with no enemies. You guys have
listen,
downgraded
anyway,
my market.
No, we have.
There it is.
Gob,
There it is.
Yeah.
please explain.
Towels.
Why had I never seen this? I guess my
Okay, the Q, it's QAS on the keyboard. No, on the QWERTY keyboard, there's QAS. They follow each other that way when you're going down. So I'm assuming the A is too close to the S. Towella, towels.
Maybe.
Stop giving him an out. I said,
I'm trying to help my brother.
No, don't.
I'm trying to help my brother.
No, don't.
And here's a second strike. Zamtel Awards. I don't know if you saw the clip where I posted me interviewing a lot of influencers and whatever. We reported Toil as well. What happened, Gob?
He cut it out entirely. Y'all need to talk it out.
We don't want to talk nothing.
Y'all need to talk it out.
He forgot to press
There's
record.
plenty of other people who can record these things.
Except he brought her food. Manje, you must put S.
Towels. Anyway, Shi, thanks a lot for coming through, bro. This has been one of those very informative episodes, and I think a lot of wisdom has been dropped in this one.
Pleasure, guys.
I like this guy.
I think we need to bring you back.
First time that I've actually
Show
met you.
it with food, fam. Don't.
Who is gonna try and
Show it with food.
You know what? I'll do? Where do you live? What area?
I'm actually in Avondale. I'm not far from here.
You don't live too far from my house. I will get you a 6-pack of Brothers.
Thank you.
What's your favorite flavor?
This guy can't take sugar, bro.
I can't take sugar, but I will give it to somebody. I will
Yes, you
appreciate.
can. Yes, you can.
No, I'm diabetic.
No, I'm saying you can give it to
Oh,
somebody.
I can give it to someone.
Yes.
What's my favorite? What would you recommend? What's
Pina colada.
Pina colada. There we
Yeah.
go.
I'll send that to you.
I got a
Get
6-pack
my
of
phone
that.
number, give me your
Holla
address,
back,
I'll
holla
send it
back.
to you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you very
All
much.
right.
But I do need a sugar-free version to come out from the brand eventually
For
because I
diabetics
want to
and-
taste it.
Session.
I want to taste this. There's a
Session.
lot of us out there, man. We
Session.
need more options.
You've heard this. Speaking of things that need to change, I say this, and I felt extremely sorry for this family. I was flying from South Africa to, and this has happened the second time, to Lusaka on Zambia Airways. So they bring you food, and typically you have got a choice. Well, you got like 2 choices of what kind of food that you want to. I was sitting next to a Muslim family. They didn't have anything halal.
Oh, really?
They offered them biscuits.
Yeah, that's very strange for an airline to not have halal.
They offered them while everybody was munching on a
very
burger.
strange.
They were staring at you guys. I can imagine what the kids were feeling, man. Like, I'm
Very
sure they were staring in
strange.
their eyes, like, bruh.
Right.
Yeah.
I was
I was like, can you smell this? Can you smell this?
yeah. No, it's
That's cruel.
yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Cruel, not crazy, cruel.
And for me, this is the way I wrap up personally. I mean, food is very important on flights. I mean, you can even tell nationalities
Absolutely.
just by the food they're consuming on flights. So it's a big cultural thing. I'll give you an example. This is me flying from Barcelona to Malaga, Marbella, Spain. And immediately they were like, oh, chicken or beef. And the brother behind me goes, boff. I knew he was Zambian, guys. I knew he was chicken or boff. That's how important food is. You can even identify a Zambian. Guy.
My last
And
point.
the Zambian always put salt before they taste the food.
Thank
That's how you
you.
identify them
Chicken
in
or
the
beef,
plane.
boff.
My last point, because these are things that I just noticed that I take mental notes of. Quick question around the room. Cohen, are you listening? What is Zamtel's color? Quick.
Green?
I'll take green.
Everybody say green.
I've seen purple.
Zamtel.
Yes.
Ah, okay, yes. There is purple, green, and white. Those are
I've
the
seen.
Oh, yeah.
those are the Pantones. They do have alternative colors. There's also black and white. I say this
like MTN
because
with black and yellow.
here's an interesting story.
Yeah, because I've also seen, because the advertising
Yeah.
on
Yeah,
buses,
it's red and white.
on buses,
Yeah.
right? Like at the back, it was like a purple background and it
Yeah.
was written Zamtel. And I'm like, I thought Zamtel was green.
No, there is an alternative color. Then if it's purple, then the font will be definitely green, correct? Against purple background.
I don't remember. I don't remember.
The
Yeah.
reason it is because I was part of the team that worked on that branding. Yes. When they were changing from Celzi to Zamtel, I was with ZK Advertising at the time. Now Altitude. It was our team that put that whole color scheme together. Those are the Pantones. So you do have
But
for
you know what-
brands
but you know what's-
interchangeable.
But you know
Yeah.
what's crazy though is because now we have got an MNO whose color is purple.
Yes.
And that's Z Mobile.
Yes. Purple
Right.
and
So
orange.
imagine the
Oh, right.
confusion that's going to be
Yes,
there
yes,
now.
yes. So those are also things where, as if you are a new player in the market, your team should look
That
at
you
that
need to
and
be
say, how do we
cognizant
stand out?
of,
Yes,
right.
exactly. You know, but first things first. And as I said, many different hats. But yeah, we were part of that. We put that together. yeah, that was when Cell Z was rebranding to Zamtel. I had the pleasure of being on that team. So yeah, if you're going to enter the market, then you must make sure you look out for these things to stand out.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Especially
It's like any brand now, that gets, red, white, and black can. You know who you're going to war with. You know what I'm saying? It's that kind of thing. Yeah.
This has been incredible. In a
Thank you, guys.
quick update, I ended up getting myself an NRFA card.
Oh, for the e-toll card.
Yeah, the e-toll card.
Great.
You're welcome.
And when I said on this here podcast, and I was asking you if MTN is able to top it up, I got a text from Eugene from MTN, and he says, yes.
Mobile money.
We are able to. So, all my drives to the southern province, where I conduct my business, there's a toll gate that I always pass. It has been a breeze. They send me a text right after that, and no, I'm not being paid for this. I
Just
came here
appreciate
and
You're paying
argued
for
with
it.
him about it, so I'm just giving you an update. So
Till the next episode, remember to click on that subscribe button. Chi, thanks for coming through, man. Really appreciate it.
Pleasure, guys. Pleasure. Thank you for accepting my brand of madness.
Till the next one, have a lovely day.
2 hours.
2 hours 30.